back to Booze, Bros, and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
I'm Nick.
And today we have two really awesome guests here. We have Danny and we have his girlfriend Tina. You guys may have seen Danny on the Savor podcast. If you guys haven't, I'll add the link to that description or to the description, and you guys will see him popping up on there because these guys were actually there with us and we were hanging out. So go ahead and introduce yourself, guys. Obviously Danny and Tina, and just kind of say who you are.
Okay. You want to start first? Ladies first?
Ladies first. Hi, I'm Tina. They call me Toyotina online. So as you can tell, I'm obsessed with Toyotas, and
Hence the AE.
my entire life I have grown up around them, and I'm pretty brand biased. So I grew up in the shop with my dad, pretty much. That's how I got into cars. He would hand me a wrench and be like, hey, tighten this bolt, or, mess around with the grease. Like, I would play around and just get so filthy. My mom would get really mad at me when I got home.
It's not like the typical dad story. Hold the flashlight right here.
Yeah, no,
Hold it
I
right
would
here.
actually, I would
Point
actually,
right there.
I would like get deep into it, and that's essentially how I got into the field of cars, because he was a mechanical engineer. He did everything, and I always saw that as like a wow, like that's really awesome. You don't have to go to a shop and pay someone to do it when you can do it yourself. So that was essentially how I got into it, is you do it yourself. And my brother also has his own shop as well. He's into cars too. His brand is the Black Cloud with drawing a blank. They're in Atlanta, and he's got his whole crew. He does like Japanese modded American classics. It's really, really dope.
Cool.
So, I mean, I'm pretty open about anything, so you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll answer.
Cool.
That was a long intro.
Yeah. You said ladies first, so
Good backstory, though.
It is a good backstory. Yeah.
your
All right. So, I want to say thank you for having us here, first of all. Appreciate it.
Thank you for letting us use your place, too, for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry we couldn't have it in the garage with the GTR in the back. But,
way too hot.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do something next time.
Florida things.
Yeah.
So hot.
But, my name is Danny Diaz. I'm also known like Luis Diaz as well, but everyone here locally knows me as Danny Diaz. 38 years old now, reside here in Cape Coral, Florida. Met these awesome people, and I've been knowing them for a while now. I don't know how many years, but a lot.
Dude, I was actually thinking about that when I was driving over here. I've known you for years, dude.
I know.
We actually recently, within like the last year or so, we've actually been hanging out more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I met you when you were driving for a shop.
Yep.
When they first opened their open house, I was there and you were there too.
That's right. I mean,
I don't know how.
I didn't know them. I just knew that there was a GTR shop that was opening up
Yes.
at that moment. I had my GTR, so I just pulled up in there, and it was from there. It was history. So,
That was what, like 2012, 2013, maybe?
well, shoot, I just got back from Afghanistan 2013, so it had to be like middle 2013 when I got back.
Because I think the first time I saw your car was there, because I was with you guys.
Yeah.
And we didn't meet until end of 2013. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that lines up probably somewhere in early 2014 or something like that.
Yeah,
Damn.
probably.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the car with a sticker, the big ass sticker on the rear window, and I was like, God, this is awesome looking. You know what I mean? At that time, I had no idea like who you were or anything, and still to this day, my wife gives me a hard time because like we started hanging out more recently in the last 6 months or more, and because she always hits me up, she's like, how long have you known like Dan? You know, like, well, I've known of them for years, but like didn't like know them. And she's like, well, why haven't we been hanging out with them for longer? I'm like, I don't know. Don't just. You know.
I'm a hermit crab, man.
Yeah,
I like to stay inside sometimes.
Yeah, she gives me a hard time about it all the time, but. Yeah.
Women things. Anyways,
Yeah.
no offense. But anyways,
No offense.
A little bit more about you. So you have the GTR. So you have an R32 GTR specifically.
Yeah, it's a R32 GTR, 1992, and this one was special because there weren't that many GTRs out there that had the Nismo add-on option. So you have the GTR Nismo edition, but then like you have your M3 or like you have your regular BMWs, but they have the M package.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same concept. The R32 had the Nismo package, which is bring all the Nismo suspension, the ground effects and kits, but it wasn't a real Nismo, quote unquote. But hey, it was one of a kind to me. I liked it, and it was one of the cleanest GTRs I've seen out there. So, and I grabbed it and I brought it on here. And then after that, I started. What was it? When I was building it and fixing it up, that's when I met Carmelo.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not here
right.
right now, but
That story.
there's a backstory to that.
Yeah.
Just like you met Carmelo yourself. I mean, I think you guys already talked about it before.
So we met for the whole Speed 3 thing, but I think he actually mentioned how he actually met you. Well, he met you, and he also met Chris Thayer, I think, around the same time.
Yeah, I think, and then Johan. Remember Johan?
Did he work at the same shop? I can't.
He
remember.
didn't work in the shop. He was actually helping me build my cage and everything when I was at NER.
Oh, okay.
So, but Johan now works for. He's like Adam LZ's right hand man.
Yeah.
So
I think he's actually like his. I'm gonna butcher this, but I think he's like his shop foreman. Or
shop foreman and main fabricator and stuff like that. So
the dude's fucking awesome.
yeah, he's a brilliant guy.
Yeah, and he's got these. Well, I know that he's got an MK4, right? And he's got the MK5.
Yeah, he has. If I'm not mistaken, he found a crash on GR Supra.
Yeah.
And he's building that on the site right now.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Yes. Well, it was posted. On,
Sorry.
No, it was
he did post it a few days ago.
It was posted on like the Adam Mosey's like channel that Adam Mosey bought 2 Supras from Titan Motorsports, and he sold or gave one to Johan. So he got in. Yes, he is building it secretly on the side. I think they said that he might be putting a 2J in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna put 2J in it.
It's all on Adam Mosey's channel. I'm not just saying this just because he knows about it or I've heard about it. Like it's actually on Adam Mosey's channel.
I mean, it's funny. We happen to know somebody selling a 2JZ at the moment. You know, you should probably reach out. Isn't Anthony selling his?
Oh yeah. Anthony's on.
yeah.
Yeah, he's on a fully built 2J
Yeah.
motor.
Maybe an opportunity. Yeah, I was saying the fuel system's now disconnected and pre-sold to somebody else from what I saw. But
I mean, it's I don't know how to you in the market now to be able to sell something like that. You gotta take it all apart. There's no way you can just put a whole motor together with intake, fuel system, stuff for that. No one's gonna buy the whole thing because everyone wants a different setup. They just want the block and head.
Yeah.
You can sell everything separately and make more money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him.
Prices are crazy right now.
Yep.
Let's you want to take a little side street here and off the cars and tell us what your favorite alcoholic beverages are, or beverage if there's one. It could be a mixed drink, it could be a specific style of wine, liquor, just whatever the case is.
So, call me basic, but I really love that La Marca Prosecco, the fizzy, bubbly one. And I love to mix it with Costco strawberry lemonade.
Okay.
It is so good. That's
pretty good.
It has to be that one because Simply Lemonade or Simply Raspberry, whatever, does not taste as good.
So
that combination just does it.
What I'm hearing is you like a really like basic, but kind of also bougie like
Mimosa.
Mimosa. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
pretty
right
much.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
She likes mimosas.
I mean, hey.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I love
wine.
any type of Prosecco, but that one just, I don't know. It's cheap, easy to get, and I can have a whole thing of it for like $18.
So you like the bubbles?
Yeah, love the
Budget.
bubbles.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Myself, I'm a bourbon/whiskey drinker. So, my favorite drink, I have 2 of them. Of course, going to be an old fashioned, depending who makes it, and the other one's going to be a Sazerac.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys know what a Sazerac is, but pretty much depending who's making as well. What I like about the Sazerac is that they set the glass on fire, waxing on it, and once it's hot, they pour the rest of it out, and then once they finish mixing the whiskey and all that stuff together, they pour it in there, and it gives like a distinct taste to it.
Yeah.
Like a campfire.
Like a no. That's the old fashioned when it's
Yeah,
smoked.
like
But
caramelizes
this one,
some of the sugars. And
this
stuff.
one is a little bit more like close to like minty, but it's not minty. But it tastes really good.
So now we know why there's burn marks on your glassware. Yeah.
Yes. Now, but when it comes,
It does all make sense.
yeah. I mean, I make my own old fashions. I love them. Everyone that ever made one for, they love them as well. besides that, when it comes to straight whiskey, of course, my favorite is gonna be Eagle Rare. From there, it's gonna be Double Oak Woodford, and then whatever is available in reach of my hands at that moment.
Yeah.
Too, it goes from there.
Woodford is always a solid choice, man. I mean, like even when it comes to making like old fashioned, like he uses that as a base most of the time, or you use something else. I can't remember what else you use as well. But I know that you use Woodford as a base.
I forget what the other one was. It was some other decent bourbon, but
Yeah.
I can't remember now at this point. But yeah.
Five Roses is good too as well. Elijah
a few of
Craig.
those.
Elijah Craig.
Elijah Craig is really good. I've had that before. It's really good.
Have you
Blank now to what I was using last time. I don't know. I might have even used some of that mixers over there before.
You were using it at Sebring, and you got heavily sloshed.
Oh, you know what it was? Yeah, that was the Gentleman Jack that I
Yes,
wouldn't drink
yes.
normally by itself. So I brought it to Sebring and I
Yep.
basically drank
I
the
think
whole
I had
thing.
some of that mixed
I'm
with the other
pretty
one.
sure. Yeah, we were.
I was pretty slaughtered that night.
That was.
Yeah.
that was a
And then
fun
you lost the
night.
car keys.
That was an interesting
Listen.
story.
They were.
still-
They
I
been
have a drink
found.
now.
Been found.
God,
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Not to
Wow.
But I have to point out, it wasn't your fault that you lost keys. They just fell, and then somebody found it, and then they're like, "Let me take these keys somewhere,"
2 days later.
and turn it in 2 days later, which makes no sense to me at all.
Hey, I gotta say this though. Thank you because you unlocked the doors to the car. Thank you.
At least unlock the doors. Yeah. That's fine.
Anyway, side note because I don't want to talk about that no more.
Yeah.
Right now, what I'm drinking is the Yamato Japanese whiskey, which is right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say, I never had this.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's super smooth, not like kicks you in the back of the throat kind of deal.
Right.
But it's really is smooth, and it has this, like I was telling you earlier, it has
Yeah.
like this sweet, either coconut roasted coconut like taste to
Yeah.
it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's really really
It's unique in a good way, and that was like I think I brought one of the other podcasts. In all my research, you look at most of these Japanese whiskeys, and they're so pale because they're not heavily aged. Because the Japanese want that cleaner, smoother finish. They don't want the oakiness and all of that. It's just not in their taste. So now a couple of them, these big distilleries, these successful distilleries, are going out there and doing some stuff like this and lightly charring the barrels and whatnot, and coming up with these bit more like Western palate style whiskeys, which. I mean, I'm here for. I'll drink them both.
Oh, yeah.
I'll drink them on
I mean,
either end of the spectrum. So.
I mean, sure, the bottle's badass.
And that's just as cool, being like the multi-piece,
Yeah.
Suit of armor and everything. It's like I said, that's going to be a great display piece next to the other pricey Japanese whiskey bottle I've got in the Louis XIII bottle. So I have a shelf just for the high-end empties that go up there. But
All empty bottles.
yeah, I don't.
We've seen them.
Well, you tell the people too, like, oh, look at my collection. It's like, do you ever actually drink anything? Like, I mean, yeah, sure, I'd like to buy a lot more too, but man, if I'm not removing some stuff from the shelf, I'm not doing a very good job. I'm just spending money.
Yeah,
I'm not a
that's true.
museum, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? We say it all the time in the dealership, we're not a museum. We're here to sell cars.
I mean, don't judge me. I have this bottle for about a year and a half, but I have not opened it because I've been waiting for a special moment. And once I'm done with this, it's going to be open. So
There you
we
go.
all have a little bit of
Well,
it. So
I'm glad this is a special moment.
Yeah.
That the bottle's gonna be open. But that Eagle Rare, super good. I had a buddy of mine actually gave me some from work to try and I drank it on the podcast. It's so smooth.
yeah.
Like holy shit, it is really smooth. So that's a good bottle.
I mean, even when you, I hate to admit it, but even when you find it in that $90 to $100 price point, it's still a really good whiskey for that money.
It is, yeah.
It's still a really good
Yeah.
bourbon. Sorry, really good bourbon for that money. But to your point, I've been lucky enough to also be gifted one that somebody else got really cheap in Kentucky, and I haven't bought another one since because knowing I got it for free and that he can get it for $50 or $60, I haven't been able to bring myself to go pay $100 to get a bottle.
I know it's
But,
rough.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will one of these days.
I
But
can
then I'll go buy something like this on a whim just out of the blue.
I'm not lying, man. I mean, I had my father sent me what was it? Kentucky honey whiskey?
The
No, is it
I
Tennessee?
keep thinking of Tennessee
Yeah,
honey.
Tennessee,
honey.
knob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whiskey
yeah.
knob, or it's called.
Yeah, whiskey.
Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Knob
Creek,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, I
Yeah.
murdered that.
We all did.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
He sent me that
Whiskey knob. That's what I call
Whiskey
it. When I get
knob.
really drunk. Hi, buddy.
to Afghanistan.
Okay. Okay.
Whiskey knob.
I may have had a beer or two before I got here. So
He had some chicken cock.
I believe.
no, Eric has chicken cock in his
Yeah,
mouth right now.
I've
Oh wait,
got the chicken
never mind.
cock.
I do too. I take that back. I also. All right.
It's getting kind of rated out here.
All right. put
Yeah.
a
So
lasso on it.
There's gonna be a disclaimer saying that it's not for children. It's
yeah,
for
let's derail again
NSFW.
the other
Yeah.
direction back to the cars. Now, Tina, we've already kind of gotten your background of what got you into cars, but through your intro, Danny, we never really know what got you into the automotive space,
Okay.
and not just in the career aspect, but like into the passion of cars.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I think it all started just like most of the people here. PlayStation 2, Gran Turismo, you know,
Okay, yeah.
modifying and like messing with the settings, you know, making like me and my little brother, we used to play Gran Turismo and like setting up our cars so we could go drifting and setting up the, you know, the camber, the rebound, inbound, all that stuff in
Yeah.
suspension, and we messed around with all that stuff. And then as I got older, I started getting into, you know, into cars because my father was actually into motorcycle racing.
Oh,
And he actually like built, you know, Kawasaki's, like old school Kawasaki's with
Yeah, the old cafe
drag
racer
style.
style.
Yeah. So he built those back in the day, and so he, you know, he ate shit. So, you know, whatever. And he used to have a Grand National back in the day as well in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So all that
Sick.
boost and stuff, like he was into it, and then I fell off later on, but that's how I got into it. And as I got older, high school times, you know, we had our Civics. Believe it or not, I had a 1993 Eagle Talon TSI. That was my
Okay.
first car
Okay.
ever
Nice.
that my mother bought for me.
Little DSM action. Okay, nice.
Lasted 3 days before the transmission exploded.
Full science. And there goes the transfer case.
I'm not lying to you. We were in high school. The guy called me out. We went. We took a half a day, cut school, like I said, I'm saying, and went to this one spot in Chicago. And I just put it in neutral, dumped it redline, and dumped into drive, and took off. And then when I got to the end, all you hear is exploded.
Oh shit.
So I got caught. I got caught drag racing. 2, I got caught skipping school, and 3, I got my ass whooped by my mom because I blew the car up.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't like one aspect; it was all 3.
Yeah.
For that, and that. So, but no,
Was
after
it with the chancla or was it with
oh,
the
dude, it was chancla. It was the hand. Then she got tired. Got the belt. You know, Hispanic. You know, Hispanic
I mean,
family.
you may have
Upbringing.
deserved a little bit of that.
I kind of
You may
deserve
have
that. Not
deserved
lying.
Hispanic upbringing?
Yeah, I wasn't a, we call it an angel child. I was a devil child.
Yeah.
Definitely was.
Give her a run for her money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she ran. Trust me, she whooped my ass in front of me. She was a ninja.
Have you ever seen like that video that it's like that? I don't know if it's real or fake. I want to say I really hope it's real, but it's like that Hispanic mom and like you see like her kid running and she grabs the
Oh, check it out. It's just
and she launches it and it smacks the kid in the back of the head.
Pretty
fucking
much.
like a boomerang. Just fucking
Yeah,
launches.
just-
Go around the corner.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
It's like a heat-seeking
Jeez.
sandal over there.
Black hole.
But no, yeah, I started from there, went from high school, and then I kind of like lost interest a little bit after that. I think what was the last car after I blew that one up? I got another car. It was a 1993 Toyota Paseo.
Oh,
It was
Yoda
purple.
gang.
Yeah, the little one. It was purple, like a
Ooh.
purplish bluish color. Kind of weird.
Barney mobile right
Yeah,
there,
it
man.
kind of depends how. Depending how the sun would hit it, it was either purple or bluish.
So it's like
Chameleon.
midnight purple.
kind of
Like
yeah.
Malbec.
So the motor was kind of bad. We blew the motor on it. It
Seeing
didn't
a
last
theme
long.
here with you.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was not a
Yeah.
yeah. So we blew the motor, and a buddy of mine that I met in high school, he used to build like Acura Integras and stuff like that. He was
Okay.
like, boosted. He was really good
Yeah.
at them. Like he's been
Nice.
doing it since he was young. So he took me to this place called Japan. Eric Japan is Chicago back in the day. I don't even know if they're still there or not. But any Japanese engine you wanted was there.
Damn.
Like
Oh, shit.
like right, and they were cheap. I'm talking about like 2Js were probably like $300-$400 back in the day. Like, you know, Type R, B18 whatever those Type
Yeah.
R engines,
C5s,
they were
yeah.
like $500 or less than that. Like they were cheap back in the day,
Imagine stocking up on those for the future.
dude. Oh my god.
If I can go back in time,
Yeah.
forget stocks, forget cryptocurrency, I'll literally go back.
Just buy 2Js all day long
buy
in RBs.
all the 2Js, all the RBs,
Yeah.
all the type, the B series motors, all the SRs, all the KAs.
Dude, crazy
If
amount of
only
money
we
now.
knew back then.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
all right.
man,
What would have been
yeah.
like that epic engine?
Just like Pokemon.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Gotta
no,
catch them all.
yeah.
Yes.
But no, from there, like I went and bought a motor from there, and come to find out that the motor I bought was from a AE 101 in Japan. It's a
It was a 4AG.
it's a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, the 4AG, right?
Yeah, but like the 20 valve
Oh,
with
yeah.
the individual throttle bodies.
Is
Which
that the silver top?
Yeah,
Right?
silver top.
Yeah, silver top.
so I didn't know
I
that's
know
what.
some stuff about Toyotas.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
old.
I'm just.
So I didn't know that's what it was at the moment. And my buddy had me put it back, put it together. We literally had transmission, engine, wire harness, uncut, and ECU.
You
So
hear that, Nick? Uncut.
Yeah, well, listen. Some of us get a little snippy happy.
So we put it into the Toyota Paseo, put it all together. We got it running. It literally turned on like the first start.
Nice.
Turned right on, got it running. Took it to the. Once we got it running, everything was tuned. We did the Puerto Rican style and cut the springs on the car.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone's done that back in the day. And it wasn't like we couldn't like put things. We were like, beep, and like waiting for it to like explode.
It was still on the strut.
Yeah, it was still on the truck in the car still.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I've seen videos of
yeah,
that.
we did that. That's how we used to lower our cars back in the day.
Yes.
And then I think it was like a boat. Like, it was,
Yeah, early 2000s. It wouldn't like that nice coilover like bounce or like the road.
No,
it
it
was
was-
like it would bounce and it would keep bouncing after.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
So yeah, we did that. Lord, freaking A. So we went to the track, raced a couple of Hondas, and that thing was powerful motor. It was crazy how
Yeah.
fast it was. We dropped the turbo into it and ran 12.5
Damn.
Oh shit.
on that thing. I couldn't even believe it.
Full interior.
Yeah, full interior and everything. I think it was light. That little
That's
Toyota
pretty
Paseo
good
was
back in the
super
day.
light, dude. It was crazy light. Sold it, and then I ended up moving. Well, actually, no, I went to travel for a little bit. Ended up moving to Florida eventually, and I tried to get back into the game and try to buy myself a 1997 Nissan 240SX back in the day when they were cheap. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about like $1,000 cheap. That's how much they were. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I decided to join the military. And that's when I bought a S13 at the moment. And I had a friend of mine in Chicago build me the S14. I had a SR20, blacktop, HKS intercooler, a few other things. Had a single-plated XD clutch on it to start with, and from there, I did like 500 on the SR blacktop. Great car. Shipped it to me in North Carolina. Drove it for a little bit. I needed more power. It was nice and everything. I sold it to someone else. They enjoyed it, and then that's when I got my hands on. I was in North Carolina at the moment, and I was in North Carolina, but I was deployed. I was in Iraq and I saw it online when I was in Iraq. I was in the USO on the internet, saw it, didn't even like physically looked at it. I offered this guy money, and he's like, "Wait, so come by." Fortunately, the car was in Tampa, so when I got back from Iraq, I went over there, cash on hand, bought it, and it was a 1995 Nissan 240SX with a 1997 front end Koki kit. Had a N1 RB26 motor in it.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're gonna talk about that 240 in a little bit, because you probably have one of my favorite motorsports backgrounds, and I do want to talk about that.
Okay. But it actually starts with that car,
I kind of figured because I met you when you had that car.
the black one.
I think it was white.
So that's the second one.
Oh, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. But it had the motor from the first one.
It has the motor from the
Okay.
first one.
Okay. But before you get into that, you have been doing something really spicy lately.
Okay, we got to careful how we mention spicy
Yeah, I
on
was
the
like,
internet.
I looked at her for a second. I was like,
No.
what's going on
Oh
here? What
my
do I not
God.
know?
Is there a spicy link I don't know about?
No, there's
no,
no
no.
OnlyFans. There's none of that. No Linktree. All canceled.
No.
I better get that money.
Where's my money? No.
Oh God. Just because yeah.
The whole Stewie thing. Where's my money? Where's my
Where's my
money?
money?
No. So when I mean spicy, I mean like something that's like awesome, which is you've actually been track racing your car, like road course racing your car. So go ahead and talk about your car first. We actually mentioned it on last week's podcast.
Oh.
But go ahead and talk about the car and what you've actually been doing with it.
So I actually have a 2023 Toyota GR Corolla. They made the Core, the Circuit, and the Marizo edition, and I was one of the lucky few that got the Marizo edition. So they produced only 200 of those cars, and I ended up with number 47 of 200. So essentially, it's a full-blown track car. It's a G16E engine. It's 300 horses right out of the box and 300 torque. All-wheel drive madness. And before that car, I had a 2021 Toyota Corolla hatchback XSE, and that was a front-wheel drive. And when I hit the gas, I wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, damn, I need something faster. And this car does it. I'm telling you, it is a riot. So I have taken it to the track a couple of times now, and it has not disappointed me. It is such a super car to drive, and it knows me, and I know it. So it's just, it works. And yeah, it's a very special car to me. So I went to Sebring twice now, once last December, and then once just not too long ago in April. And the first time I took it on the track, it was like pouring down rain, and it was just crazy. It lets you learn the car in a different aspect, but then when I had the dry track, I was really pushing it. I was like, wow, this is, yeah.
But
I was
give
killing
it. To you, though. When it was raining, it was raining. Like, I'm talking about like monsoon raining.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
she was still hitting it. Like, she was doing pretty good in the rain. So I give her that because not a lot of people get the option to like race
Wet
in
and
the
dry.
rain.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Usually
and
shut
then
that shit
and then
down.
go to dry.
Yeah.
Like, once she got to dry, she was killing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess it's an itch I can't scratch now. It's like, when's the next event? Oh, let's prepare. Let's start getting all of our things
More
that
mods.
we need. Tires. So
That is a big thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Yeah.
that little thing on a track rips through some tires
it's
if
a
you're actually getting
pretty,
it.
it's
Yeah.
a pretty costly sport. I mean, when it comes down to it, but the joy that I feel where Sheriff won't come and catch me or arrest me, that I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do otherwise, I can do it on the track and really just let loose. And it's a form of meditation. Aside from, working on my 8.6, that's also another
Yeah.
thing that I love to just let loose and be a part of. So the GR is very, very special, and I hope that more people have access to this car, or can at least drive it on the track instead of keeping it as a garage queen, because that's not my goal.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
We see so much of that, especially down here with like, the people that come to town with money and the retirement homes and stuff. They have these nice cars that are just basically race cars, and they won't actually use them or drive them.
Right.
And it's disappointing. So it's nice to see somebody take something. I mean, it's crazy because you're like, oh, it's such a special car to me. But when you think about it, it's a special car in general. Like, for what it is, for being the GR Corolla and then being that top trim version with all the goodies, and being such a limited production car. I mean, anybody that sees it, unless they got some weird disdain for Toyota or little hot hatches,
It's just
it's
a
just a
Corolla.
cool, yeah, right. But for anybody else that sees it, the moment they see it, like right off the rip, you know it's a GR Corolla. And then as soon as you get close and you see like the extra touches, the forged carbon roof, and
No back seats.
yeah, the no back seats with the bracing, and so I mean, all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, this is not your everyday little grocery getter hatchback.
It is
I don't know,
deceiving.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's a badass little car.
Yeah. Is
So-
yours the only Morizo in Southwest Florida?
I believe so. I have not seen another.
That's
All I've
actually
s-
kinda-
you can look at the registration
Oh.
online because I work for Toyota. If no one knew that, but
Yeah.
I looked at the registration just to see if anyone has a Marizo, because we can see look at data where they went.
Yeah,
Now they did have 2 Marizos here in Florida, but they went out of state. People bought them from out of state, but I have not seen one actually stayed here, and she's probably the only Marizo female that owns one.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
Good on you.
And you're tracking the hell out of it.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I must talk closer.
No. You're
Okay,
fine.
we're
You're
getting into
fine. I
ASMR
just
weirdness.
need to straighten it up a little bit.
Be right back.
But yeah, no, it's actually really dope how you have not a very common car, and you drive the living piss out of this thing, which is actually really awesome.
And it really takes that beating. I haven't
Yeah.
had a single CEL or overheat or nothing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's a great car.
Yeah.
Now you got a separate new set of wheels for it too to run a track setup, right?
Yep,
What-
Graham Lights 57 CRs, with
This is the
pretty much
first
the
time I
same
saw 'em in
tire
person.
configuration. Oh, why? Thank you. What a gentleman. So it's good for the track as well, but I think what I want to do is I want to use the stock wheels as my tracks.
Yeah.
Because those are too nice. Those are really nice. But I mean, they're
Yeah.
cheaper than the stock wheels, but
Which is just because of OEM price tags, but I mean, at the end of the day.
and
but-
then everything's VIN locked, so it's almost impossible to get, things for the car.
Yeah, so that's that would sketch me out really wrecking either set of wheels, but and just I didn't look while I was out there, but I'm just kind of curious like what tires you're running on it. Like just like some Toyo proxies or something, or
Nope,
no?
they're Sport Cup 2s, just like the
Okay.
factory. Yep.
Oh, nice.
I
All
really
right.
liked how they felt, so I was like, I'll get another set.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the same specs as the OE tires.
That was like
Nice.
That's what that was.
But they only come on the Marizzo, the Cup
Yeah.
2s. They don't come on the circuit or on the other.
Yeah, I think they're just Pilot Sports.
Yeah, Pilot Sports on the other ones, but
Yeah.
on the Marizzo come with the Cup 2s.
Well, that's what I was running Pilot Sports on my Genesis when I had it was the factory wheel, not the Cup 2s, just some more standard Pilot Sport 4S's I think they were or something like that. And I mean it was a great tire. It was a great. I ditched it when they were aged out and worn out because I didn't want to spend the money again. But they were phenomenal tires. They were comfortable, and I mean that's what most of the vets are running. I'm pretty sure is Cup 2s. So a lot of the newer vets, or at least they were back in the C67 eras. So I mean it's a hell of a tire. I mean it's sticky, it's comfortable, it's great for track and daily use. So
Yeah, no, when they swap them out, they put run flats on them, ruin the drive of the car.
Oh yeah,
Make
those
it
run
more
flats are
expensive.
heavy and
They're
Yeah.
horrible.
Yep.
yeah.
Only thing I will say about those Sport Cups, they suck in the rain. It just
Oh, do
Yeah, they're
slides around everywhere.
Dry
It's
summer
crazy.
weather performance.
I mean, that was my
tire.
first event, so
Yeah.
I learned the car a lot
Yeah.
quicker than the dry, but that's the only downside. Just because it's so sticky and there's not any traction in the rain, so
yeah, just don't drive behind her.
yeah, it's like,
Kick
Don't
up
drive behind
like
her. She'll
crazy.
kick. Oh, dude.
Like a rooster tail is she going around?
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
went.
yeah.
So we were at the track and
we
we're
went
like,
to get gas.
We're like, man, we need gas because we went from full tank and then like within half a day
It ate.
it's already
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
So we're like, hey, we got like it's lunchtime. Tracks, it's cold. Let's go get gas and we'll get some food. So we go get some gas. We got some food. As we're coming back, she gets in front of me, and I'm in the Tundra.
Yeah.
And she's in front of me. First I was in front. She gets in front of me because she gets gas happy. So she wants to be lead car all the time. So she gets in front of me, and I hear just showering me in rocks. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I have to like slow down and let her just get in front of me. 'Cause
Yeah.
How bad I'm sticking. They were just so sticky, dude. It's
That's
just.
funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually like if you go look at the tires outside right now, it's got tire on top of tire because the track was so high. It's
Yeah.
stuck to the tire.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah,
melted
yeah,
the surface of it.
Yeah.
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 It's like coagulated on there now. So
Yeah.
I'll just do a burnout and even it all out.
There you go.
There you go.
So we're kind of talking about some fun automotive memories, but let's dive into the favorites. So since you're already kind of going on, it's like, what's your favorite automotive? Whether it be something that you witnessed, whether it was something you were a part of, like what sticks in your mind?
I love my GR, but it will never be on the same level as my AE86. So I have a 1985 Toyota Corolla GTS, and I've had it since 2012 now. It's been a while. It's come a long ways. Growing up, like I said, my dad was into Toyotas, and he had a pickup truck. He had all sorts of different Toyotas, and then I swear he had an 86 at some point, but it must have just been like a base model like Toyota. But I researched and turned out that was my favorite chassis. Not just because of Initial D, like, yeah, sure, I watched that too,
Yeah.
but that wasn't my like driving factor of why I love that car. Something about it just draws me in. The character, it's on a totally different level. Like, sure, the GR is fun and you can rip it up at the track, but the 86 is a whopping like 100 horses, is super slow, but it is so torquey and such a riot that you just can't go wrong. Like, it is like your classic. It's been with me, and we have gone through a lot of things together, me and that car. So it was my second rebuild. So my first rebuild was a MR2 4AGE, which is a mid-rear,
Okay.
which was more complicated than this engine. So I did have a lot of mess ups. I mean, I had to start somewhere. I did. I had to start somewhere. So I started on the MR2 that I didn't care about as much. Well,
Yeah.
And then I bought the 8.6, and then this one has the 1.6 liter 4A GE blue top, 16 valve, dual overhead cam that I rebuilt as well. So to become one with the car as you're building it is something that only, like an enthusiast could understand. Some people would be like, wow, why did you spend so much time and effort and, you're throwing money and it's a money pit. It's more than that. It's a passion. It's my baby. And I will never sell this car. No matter what it gets to, I will live out of that car. That's how important this car is to me. I know it's kind of silly, but I do love it. I love that car.
It's actually not, because we've actually made the comment before on the podcast that said that cars are like an extension of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we obviously modify our cars based off of things that we like, but the things that you like, when you put it into your car, it's an extension of you that you're putting it into your car. So you're personalizing your car to yourself.
Yeah. Expressing yourself through your vehicle as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
That's why almost all my cars are loud and obnoxious.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I guess...
Without alcohol. But,
oh, damn.
Yes.
Wait,
And
my
I guess-
car does run with alcohol sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, the GTR? Or the
That
Chevy?
motor did, yeah.
Oh,
Or the
jeez.
Chevy?
No, the GTR did.
Okay.
The motor did.
Okay. So now, on to you now, Danny. So back to your 240.
Okay.
So apparently you had two, but you pulled the motor out of a black
So-
S14 and put it into another S14.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about that.
All right. So when I got my, let's start with it. So when I got back and I went to Tampa to go pick up that S14, it was actually a right-hand drive
Okay.
S14 with a 500 horsepower N1 RB26 motor in it. Okay.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
Okay.
So that car was kind of like same thing like hers. It was like my baby. Like it was probably one of the best cars I had. It made me become who I was at that moment because it was more daring for me because it was more power than I ever had. And then I wanted more and more and more. And when I wanted more and more and more, I just wanted to exceed in doing more things when it comes to motorsports. So moving forward, I had that car ready for a couple of years. I've modified it to things to more. It was more of a highway race car.
Yeah.
And then I got introduced into drifting with some friends in North Carolina, and it was more fun. Like I got into one of my friend's drift cars. He took me around. I was like, man, this is pretty dope. I'm gonna try this. What did I do? I took my perfectly good-looking 240SX with an RB in it and decided to do what? Wall the diff, lower it more, put a straight pipe, make it loud obnoxious, hear that spool turbo on it, and decided to go drifting. And I started to learn how to drift in North Carolina with some guys, and those guys that I met became a family, and they're called Team Hinga now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Team Hinga is actually kanji in Japanese, and Hinga in Japan in kanji means bum, like dirty,
bum.
like dirty bum, like drip bum.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
I like that. I like
Fair.
that.
But the reason why they have that name is because when the guys that were stationed in the military up in Japan, they were Motor T guys, so they
Okay.
smell like gear oil because they deal with all these big trucks.
Yeah.
So these guys, what they would do is they'll stay in their overalls, get in their drift cars, and head up into the mountains of Okinawa, and go drifting with the locals. And the locals are like, oh my God, here they are, the Hinga boys, because they smell, the bums. And once they did that, they just started calling themselves the Hinga. So that was like the model for everyone. So we would call Team Hinga. And once I met them, we were like a little chapter in North Carolina, and I became real good at doing freestyle drifting. Okay. It wasn't like competition. It was more like I just wanted to go out there and have fun. I want to like push myself to do like different things and like make the crowd get like crazy and happy.
Yeah, more
like
like almost like figure skating with drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a full open track kind of course and just whatever you want. Kinda
Exactly.
Dance through it, you know?
I want to do that. I want to like just get the crowd going, you know? So I started to learn I've learned how to go a little faster and stuff like that. And then my time in the military was over, so I was no longer in North Carolina. I decided to move to Florida with my dad. 2 weeks into moving here, I got T-boned by an old lady in her minivan on that car.
Oh, no.
So that's where this car got pretty much gone, and I bought the car back from the insurance company, took the motor out, took all the suspension out, everything, and then took that car and sent it to a scrapyard pretty much.
Yeah.
But I kept everything else. That motor sat in the garage for a while. I got a job going to Afghanistan, did Afghanistan for a couple of years, came back, and during I was in Afghanistan, I bought a R32 GTR as well at that moment. I bought it online, never seen it. It just so happened it was already here too, thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I had a friend, Ahmed. He went to go pick it up for me. Brought it to his garage, and it just stood in his garage with a cover on for like maybe 6-7 months. And it looks just like this. That one right there. So I had that on the side, and then while I was tinkering with that, I found myself a nice shell for the 240, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build me a drift car. And once I built the drift car, I did some little things here and there. I put the motor in there. Actually, no, at first it had an SR20 in it, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
So, do you know who Nick Byer is?
I've heard of that name before, so yeah. I
So,
recognize it.
I bought the car from him. The car was in North Carolina. It had an SR20 in it originally.
Mm.
Okay, it was purple. I don't know what's up with me with purple cards, but
Barney.
yeah. But no, this was like a chameleon, like legit, like rattle can chameleon color.
Oh,
okay?
okay,
It was
okay.
bad. Sorry, Nick. But not you, Nick, but the
No,
other
no.
guy. But anyways, it was bad. We had to send the whole car down. We sent this car down for 3 days, and the paint was still wet inside, and never cured.
Oh, wow.
So it was gunky. It was so bad. Anyways, me and my father did this in an apartment complex where we clean as we supposed to be doing this shit, you know.
Yeah.
But we did this. We got the car all cleaned up. We, made it white. That's when you saw it. It was all white. Had an SR20 in it. I went drifting. It wasn't enough power. You know, the SR was having like vacuum problems. I tried fixing it. It was just not suitable for me at that moment. I just want more power. I was just so used to it. So I decided to take the SR20 out, sold it to someone local, and then took that money and rebuilt the RB26, put new head gasket, ARP studs, the whole works, and then put it right into the drift car. Johan helped me do the cage. We did some fabrication on the exhaust manifold because the exhaust manifold that I had was for a right-hand drive vehicle, and we had to modify it to make it fit where the steering rack shaft was at, so we had to make it go around that. So once we did that, that's when I started going drifting at 3 Palm Speedway, and made a name for myself pretty much because no one knew people knew who I was, but not like that. But once I got to 3 Palm Speedway, and I made good friends with the shop owner at the moment because I had the GTR. They did like the first GTR shop in Southwest Florida at the moment.
Yeah.
And I went there in the open. That's when I guess we all met.
Yeah.
I'm bad with memory. Maybe I said hi to you. I don't know. Maybe I was a dick. I don't know.
You weren't, but I remember having a full conversation with you, and because you also drifted not just at 3 Palms, but you also drifted at, what was that track in Miami?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Tandemonium for
I forgot what it was called.
Tree Line.
No, it wasn't Tree Line.
Not Tree Line.
If you say the name, I'll know what it is. It's pretty much like right off of like 27.
Yeah.
And
It was like an old World War.
Chrome.
Yeah, it was like an old World War II airstrips like that.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about it.
I forget
County
the-
Line.
Yes.
County Line. That's right. Because, God damn, that was a fucking event. I'm not gonna lie to you. My transmission broke.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah. That you said that you were like literally like mid drift and it just.
No.
exited the track.
It was before that.
Oh, was it before that?
On the way there.
Oh.
Dude, okay, so it was a group of us. So okay, this goes back all the way to FMR,
Yes.
like
The old
the old
Oh,
school
not the
forums.
current,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was moving over here, I went to the forum. I'm like, hey, I'm moving to Naples. I was in Naples in the moment. So I was like, I'm moving to Naples. Is there anyone out there that drifts and stuff like that? I met Ahmed. I met Igor. I met a few other people and stuff like that. And Ahmed was the only one that reached out and said, hey, man, when you get here, let me know. We all get together. We get to meet, blah, blah, blah. So we did. We meet up. I met everybody. Then I went to Afghanistan. Then I came back and bought that car. We put it all together. But the thing is that I remember that wasn't the white car. That was the black car. That was T-Bone.
Oh, yeah.
It had a white door.
Oh, okay.
Because I took my Jeep and I pulled it enough where I could lock the door. So when I get inspected, they're like, door locks, we're good.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a missile car, pretty much at that moment.
Yeah.
The car still worked, believe it or not. And we drove that thing all the way from Naples all the way to County Line, which is pretty much like Miami.
Yes.
Okay. On the way there, I had a 300ZX transmission married to my RB26 to make it work for rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It was a beefier transmission than the R32 itself. So the linkage, the boat got so loose, it came off, and the linkage was just hanging out. So I was stuck in fourth gear the whole time.
Oh shit.
We couldn't figure out what it was, but I was already halfway there. I'm like, did it just go? Just go? So we had a channel locks locked in place to hold it in place so I could keep it in fourth gear. And I said, fuck it, whatever. I'm doing 75 miles an hour at like 5,000 RPMs. Or on 6,000 RPMs. It was just screaming. And I'm like, I look at my temperature. I'm like, it's going up. I just let go a little bit, come back, whatever. Made it to the county line. While everyone's drifting, me and my father pretty much did surgery. We literally took, don't hate me on this, but we took sheet metal cutters and cut the transmission tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we could roll. We literally took a hammer and like hit it up and like rolled it out so we get to the linkage. Found a bolt that could fit. Put it together, hammer it back down, put the center console back up, put duct tape in those like the area that we cut so nothing comes up, and fucking send it. I went real quick. I didn't even know the track layout. Like we got there, we started working. We got it working. First, second, third, fourth, like everything was working. Like, oh, I got gears back. Awesome. Get on it. I look at the track. I'm like, all right. It looks like a second, maybe third gear entry, and I haven't drifted in a long time.
Yeah.
And there's videos out there you can see. I went balls to the walls and fucking full send. And next thing you know, it's like I was linking the track like crazy. I ended up hitting a garbage barrel into the crowd.
Yep.
Legit. I didn't even know it was a garbage barrel. I thought it was just a barrel there. Well, it was full of garbage, and I guess I made it rain on all the crowd full of garbage. And my rear bumper decided to explode because I hit that, and there was a 1x1 concrete like slab right behind that thing. And when I hit the barrel, my bumper hit the concrete, and then that's what ripped my bumper off.
Oh, gotcha.
But it never stopped me from drifting, and I continued linking the track and everything. And everyone was like, "Dude, where the hell did you come from? Like, like you're a professional drifter or something?" I'm like, "No, man, this is like my first day. Like, I just memory, whatever." And then from there, I just grew, and then that car got gone, and then that's when I put the motor in the other one. Got the car, got all dressed up and everything, and then I went to CFRC before they closed in Orlando.
Yes.
And that's when I did my mods and my angle kit. That's when I was like, I think one of the first one I had the Weissfab angle kit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A lot of people didn't have it yet out there, and I was like full 66 degrees, like full turn, like on that. It was just crazy, like how much angle I had on this thing. And from there, I just kept growing. I ended up meeting these people. They sponsored me, and I went to Pro-Am. I did Pro-Am for
2 seasons, I think.
No, 3. I think 3 seasons. Yeah,
Okay.
did 3 seasons of Pro-Am, and it was a very crazy experience.
Yeah.
A lot of money was involved. A lot of pain, suffering, politics.
Oh yeah.
But overall, dude, I had fun. I mean, you guys saw me when I was in 3 Palm Speedway when it was white with black fenders or quarter panels, I think it was at the moment.
Yeah, I think I remember going to a drifting event and I remember seeing that car, so more than likely it was yours because there was, I think you ran first, and then after that there was a blue hatch that literally smashed into the wall and the whole front end was gone. So yeah, you were there.
I remember that.
I do remember that.
He he let off on the gas on the top, and then he went right in. Yeah, I remember that.
Slammed right into, like,
I know who it is too. Like, sorry, Chase.
Don't. I was gonna say you don't
Not
name
naming names.
No, but Chase is doing good for himself too. So
Yeah.
hey, can't say much. But
Wait, who is it? Is it Jace or no Chase? Wait, which Chase is it?
he does overlanding now stuff too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he used to have a garage with Eric.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Eric.
The guy-
I sold him my GF 300.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So they both used to share a garage together.
Yeah. Okay. I know. Jace lives here in Cape Coral, right? Or he lives.
I think he lives in Naples.
He lives in Naples.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know. Because when they went to come pick up the GF 300 from my house, it was him and two other friends, and I think Chase was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Because the other guy, I forgot the other guy's name. Sorry,
No, yeah.
I'm horrible with names.
I can remember, I remember faces, but I remember that because of the car accident.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
But-
Danny here is a ex Formula D Pro-Am driver. So
yeah, the Pro-Am. We travel all around the United States. I pretty much made a name for myself.
yeah.
I literally just got into the sport, and like I said, dude, I'm a freestyle person.
Yeah.
Like everything I do is freestyle, and I was at it was Atlanta Motor Speedway. No, I think
Road
it was
Atlanta,
no, it wasn't Road Atlanta. That was another time.
Linear Raceplex,
It was an oval. I can't remember. It was somewhere in Atlanta.
Brazelton.
Probably, I think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, because Atlanta has two tracks.
They have three.
Oh, are there three? Because
Yeah.
they have two.
You have Road Atlanta, then you have AMP.
Because you have Road
Atlanta
Atlanta.
Motors-
AMP up
You
north.
have Road Atlanta, and then the other one that's like a mile down the road, I think, or something. You might know better than
Linear.
I do.
It's probably near them because
Yeah.
AMP is like more.
That's
private.
a circle, straight up.
Okay, then that's
Yeah.
it. So it was actually my first event. We drove there, this picture of me like, hey, we made it, first event, I'm happy, I'm excited. And they had special guests, but I didn't know who the special guests were.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out there doing my practice runs, and then I did my qualifier run, and I qualified 2. I was number 2 qualifier. So when we did driver's meeting, after we were done with the driver's meeting, someone called my name, and I looked to the side, and it was Von Getting Jr.
Damn.
And I have a picture with him and everything. He's talking to me. He's like, dude, from everyone out here, like the way you drift, it's not like snappy. It's like ballet.
Yeah.
Like you go out there and the car just like, it like
Smooth
swings
and
out,
connected.
smooths out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
connects. And like usually everyone's like snap, 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 snap.
Yeah.
But yours is like, you transition is so smooth. It's astounding. He's like, dude, you gotta do big things.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like a fucking Beethoven sonata, just smooth,
Yeah,
drifting
exactly.
around, beautiful, artwork,
I mean, when I'm out there, dude,
It is
I'm not lying to you. When I'm on the grid, I'm at grid. My hands and my legs start shaking.
The adrenaline.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, relax.
And then the lights turn green, and you just
And it's like,
It's all gone.
tunnel
Yeah.
vision.
I'm holding the e-brake, and I'm like, whoa, and just looking at it, and I'm like shaking. My hands are shaking like this, like legit shaking. I'm like, and I let go, I'm like, and it's just like tunnel, and it's just gone. And I'm just like, first, second, third, fourth, and then I don't use e-brake when I initiate. I power,
Yeah.
so I use the weight of my vehicle, and I just lock it right there,
Yeah.
boom. The only time I ever use e-brake is when I'm following someone, and I'm like, if I get in too close, then I just e-brake it, or I just
Yeah.
like tap them and say, hello, I'm here,
Yeah.
you know. But
Well,
yeah.
and it's cool that Von Gittin Jr. was the one that you met, and he told you that because like Von Gittin Jr. right now probably has like the top team right now in Formula D. Like last year, Chelsea Donofrio was driving for them, and Chelsea Donofrio won the championship, and he won Von Gittin the constructors championship. And now, kind of James Dean kind of took over that reign because Formula D was this past. Not this weekend, but the weekend before.
Yeah.
And after they had like this crazy freaking fire, like with the S650.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
and
nuts.
yeah, it was crazy. So that, and now James Dean is kind of taking over that role, and like he got like first place, like he podiumed. So and it's cool because like Von Gittin is a world-renowned like championship driver. So it's cool that he actually told you that. It's
I know,
awesome.
dude. I was like speechless for a second. I was like, holy shit! Like,
I gotta ask.
Gave me props.
I know, yeah, right. I gotta ask. Have you ever considered trying to get back in?
him and I have had conversations before in the past.
Yeah. Well, I asked too because I have more interest in, from a hobbyist perspective, playing around with something because I can't help myself. And I just want to keep trying new dumb shit. Normally for me, I'm not a straight line guy. I like tracks and grip. Yeah. Now all of a sudden I like the idea of a track and no grip. I don't know why, but because we were talking about it, like, I think on our last podcast episode we were all from home. Like, you know, when it first came out on G4 back in the day, like I was obsessed, like so obsessed. And I don't know where I kind of fell out of the idea of it, and my interest changed to more like track related things, like street course type stuff. But kind of watching again, looking back into it and stuff like that, and
thanks to me, of course.
You're definitely a bit of the catalyst for the problem.
Yeah,
But definitely a little bit. But I even asked him that day, I'm like, dude, what's the cheapest drift car you and I could just build together?
Miata?
E36 or E26?
I don't fit.
Miatas
I considered it,
350Z.
but I would want something longer wheelbase, just from everything I've heard. And I've tried Miata twice now. I do not fit comfortably in a Miata at my size. I've tried twice. I've had two Miatas. I destroyed one, and the other one I got rid of before I could destroy it because I just couldn't fit.
You destroyed it by sitting in it?
No, the first one I cut the wiring harness because I was going to do an LS swap.
Now I got the hint why you said uncut harness.
Okay,
where they get
I
at
see.
me all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought it with the purpose.
Shit.
I paid $200 for a running Miata with a misfire, fixed the misfire, and the whole purpose of this car was for an LS swap. So as I'm ripping the interior out, cleaning it, I mean, there was cat shit in the engine. It was disgusting. It was a disgusting car.
Well, it was probably the worst Miata you can buy.
It was absolutely atrocious. But again, $200 in a ran.
Yeah.
It had about 100,000 miles on it. Like, really a steal at the end of the day. It was like a 91. It was an NA6. And yeah, man, I'm in there one day and I'm like, you know what? I'm putting a different engine in this anyway. So I'm in like the cab of the car. I'm looking at the firewall. I'm looking at the wires coming through. And I'm like, these are my way. I just went and got my wire cutters, cut, just ripping the thing out. And that was the first Miata. The second one I deemed too.
See, you weren't the only one who messed up.
I didn't cut shit like
that.
that.
I knew what I was
Damn.
doing. I still did it. The second one was too nice of a specimen for how low miles it was for an NB. And I sold it before I could hack it apart. And I couldn't ever be comfortable. I smiled every time I drove it, but I could not be comfortable.
So, a funny story about that Miata that he cut the harness on. So, I actually ended up with that Miata.
Yeah, I literally gave him the title in the car and said, just come get this out of my garage. Here's the
Your
title.
problem.
And then I ended up buying a full chassis harness for the car, and I bought seats for it. And I ended up getting rid of the car. And I literally just saw that, there's a peel on it that you gotta put.
I knew that.
Little tab, yeah.
And I got rid of that Miata.
Good luck getting the nail under there.
And I sold it to, you probably know him, Matthew Hall.
Yeah, Matthew Hall.
No, Matt Hahn.
Same person.
Hall? Matt Hahn. It's like H-A-H-N.
Okay, Matthew Hahn.
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew Hahn. I sold it to him. So he had it. And I think that's Exo set that he's selling.
No, that's just a cart. And that might be that car. We don't know.
I think it is.
He was very clear he was going to cart the damn thing and hack up the body.
Yeah.
That might be the one he's selling right now.
He's selling it. He's selling it for like $3,200. And I'm like, fuck, man.
I know. I was honestly tempted to reach out to him and see if that was the car and try to match it up.
I was actually, I almost did too. I almost reached out to him and asked him if that was the car that I sold him. But anyway.
But I still wouldn't fit. No. But yeah, so anyway, so we got way off track there. But yeah, I started asking Eric, like, man, what's the cheapest drift car that we could build? You know, get our hands on a decent chassis that runs and not have to worry about putting more power to it, like, you know, low horsepower drifter to start.
I mean,
E36, E46.
I mean, you could do that too, but
330, D30 Ci, or D30i, whatever.
Look, when I look into drifting, I look at who has the most available parts out there. And honestly, I just stick to 240s.
Yeah.
The problem is that now,
because of it, they've gone through the roof.
Pricing's off the roof, and you find hacks. I mean, you find some shady shit out there, and they want top dollar. And it's like, get out of here. For that now, from what I've seen, 350Zs, 370Zs sometimes are like in a good, and they have good power.
Yeah, well, the 350Z is the HR model in specific is probably the better version out of the ones to get, but because I was telling him, because like usually when it comes to and the person who actually told me this is Marco Garza, which shout out to Marco. Did you hear what he did recently?
He joined the Air Force or Army?
He joined. Yeah,
I think it was the Army.
He joined like the forces. I can't recall which.
I think it was the Army. I think, yeah.
I can't ask him because I'm sure he's on boot camp right now.
You probably can't because if he's in the Army,
It's like not picking up. I don't know why it's not picking up my one. Sorry, guys.
no, you're good.
No.
You have some technical difficulties here.
Yeah, it should
Stand
be
by.
good now. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, Marco Garza. So I'm gonna post that clip right here. So he gave me a ride along. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
He gave me a ride along in his IS 300.
The green one? No.
Yes.
Oh, it was green? Yeah.
Well, it was green first, and then it was red. So I went to OSW, and he gave me a ride along, and that fucking thing rips with that.
Yeah. It was a one. It was
stock 2JZ. Or 1J. No, it was a 1JZ non-VVTi.
Oh, no, this is a different one. This is a different car then.
No, it's the same one.
No, he had a S.
Oh, he had the SC300.
Yeah, SC300 with
Okay.
the 1UZ.
Yes, so he got rid of that,
Yeah.
and he had a IS300 with a 1JZ non-VVTi. I
Okay.
might have it
I
wrong.
forgot about that,
It,
yeah.
it might be with VVTi, I can't remember. But he gave me a ride along. That thing was badass. Like, him and his buddy, I forgot his buddy's name, but his buddy has a IS300, a red one. So they had matching cars because Marco had his repainted. Dude, his buddy was like on his door, and like the video that I clipped, like you can like I'm recording from outside the windshield, and then I pan to the side view mirror, and his buddy's like on his door, and I'm like, the second that I saw that, dude, I just got like goosebumps, and I'm like, holy shit, this is freaking amazing. So like, and I've loved drifting before that, and after that, I'm like, I fell in love with drifting even more. But so he told me, he's like, if you want to get into drifting, get something low horsepower. If you buy a 350Z, it's a great chassis to start off with. However, you're going to gain some bad habits because you're going to rely too much on the power. So get something low horsepower and learn from there.
Yep. I mean,
You can probably attest to that.
I started with a 240
Yeah.
with the stock KA24 motor in it, making 120 horsepower.
Yeah.
All I had on it was stock suspension. Everything was stock. All I did to it was literally weld the diff.
Yeah.
Weld the diff. I put my tire pressure at 60 psi, and I went to have fun.
Yeah.
And I just learned, like, as I was like learning how to drift and how to transition on this low horsepower car. There was cars that had 300 horsepower, and I was still keeping up with them.
Yeah.
Because once I kept learning how to transition, I was able to lower my tire pressure and actually get more grip. Now, if you get too much grip, then the RPM will go down because the car's not
Yeah.
so powerful. But low horsepower car is awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, it's true.
So I was going to mention the 8.6 is also a great teacher when it comes to
Yes.
learning cars. But unfortunately,
They're
you
expensive.
can't find another rear axle unless you're on like a wait list somewhere. You know a friend that's passing away and they want to part out their
what
car.
you're saying is
'cause
you will not be drifting yours.
literally
No.
never, ever. I mean, I would love to. I
Well, yeah.
have.
mean,
No, don't.
You
I
can-
have,
You can
but
you can stick with Toyota. Maybe Toyota will sponsor you and give you a GR86.
well, you know, they
and
do have the collection.
the Treno edition.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
they
they do have the GR came up with like a rerun of certain 8.6 parts,
Yes.
their heritage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't really help me because I need a lot of different parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so
not a lot of parts. They just pick certain parts.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
So they're still.
Well, so Toyota and Nissan are two manufacturers, and I love that they started doing this because they started doing this within like the last 2 or 3 years. You guys probably know, but they started to re-release like heritage, so you can buy a 2JZ block from the dealership. You can walk into the dealership and you can order a 2JZ block.
I think Nissan's doing it all through the Nismo name. I think they're doing it with.
They're
where
doing,
so
they're
all
doing
that.
Nismo stuff, but like I said, me coming from my background from the dealership, is not a lot of parts.
Yeah.
It's like a limited edition specific parts that are coming out.
Yeah.
But there are companies out there that still went and bought stocks from like their warehouses and they
all the
hoard
old
them.
blanks and shit.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mazda 2 a couple years ago started it. I think you literally send them your Miata and they will refurb it all the way back to originally OG, like 90, 91, whatever your year
That
was.
so nice.
They'll basically bring it all back to like new.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that it's awesome to see the manufacturers understand the following for some of their cars to the point where they're getting involved before these little hack job shops do. Like, oh yeah, I can take care of this JDM car for you and rebuild
I can
it.
do it for cheaper.
Right,
No.
exactly, right?
We
Yeah.
all
So
know how that plays out.
Nope.
yeah.
No, but
So
I'll tell you this though now. Even though they have the heritage program out there, I've seen there's 2 shops in Japan that these guys actually took their time and scan all these vehicles, all these R32, 33,
like do all the
34,
3D or the
3D
yeah,
scanning and
yep.
stuff, and they actually stamp their own like fenders, their
Yeah.
own like strut towers, stuff like that. So even though it's not from Nissan, but they have a higher metal strength
Yeah,
tensile
using
on it.
modern technology
Exactly,
and metals.
with the modern technology, it fits better and everything. Same thing with the Toyota or 86. There's a company in Scotland, I think it is, Flow.
Of all
Yeah.
places.
They make
Okay.
Floss,
stuff too. Yeah,
FLOS.
Is
Floss
that the
and all
ones that they actually make like body panels for?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Yeah.
They make
Okay.
Yeah.
FLOS.ie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Flossy.
I mean,
I-
it's genius
Ireland.
for some of these companies to go
Irish
snapping
people
up,
are-
the blanks and shit, or like the presses, and just knowing people are gonna need more parts.
Yeah, the
Because
Irish
I
guys
think
are like
I think in the U.S.
way into it.
legally manufacturers have to support up to 10 years. I think
10
it is
years.
on parts.
After 10
Yeah.
years.
And then after that, you're kind of SOL. You're looking for new old stock, used stuff that you can refurb. So it's really nice to see some companies that have taken initiative to save these cars, and then some of the manufacturers also taking the same initiative. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see it. It just goes to prove that the manufacturers understand that enthusiasts are important, and that other companies understand that enthusiasts are important. Because let's be real, we talk about this all the time how expensive this hobby is. And I mean this hobby is not cheap either. But I could be doing drugs, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing my money at my cars.
Pick your poison.
My cars and my kids are my biggest expenses, at the end of the day, followed by this and my wife. It's just, if it's not one thing, but she works, so I can't say she's that much of an expense. But yeah, no, it's nice to see that, people understand that we are a big part of the market and that we're an important demographic to support as we kind of go on, even as we age, right? Like we're all into our, well, except for you, we're all in our 30s and getting 40s.
I'm almost there.
Almost.
Almost.
But, and it's like, it doesn't die. It just, our desires just get more expensive.
Right.
That's the problem.
When they try to get everyone to go into electric vehicles, no.
Yeah. Well, I feel
Still
like
out.
and we've talked about this before. Like we're not in the age where we can actually go into fully electric cars because we're not prepared for that.
No.
Will there be a time where we could be prepared for that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
30, 40 years.
Yeah, we're still.
Exactly. But as of right now, no, like we're not prepared to go fully EV. But that's the beauty of it. I mean, like even when it comes to whether if you're into combustion motor vehicles or if you're into hybrids or if you're into electric vehicles, there's a niche for it. So like the enthusiasts, we're out there. They're there. I mean, like there's a Tesla that's obviously Teslas are fully EV cars. This guy, I want to say, have you ever seen this guy before? I want to say that he might be somewhere here in Florida. It might be in Miami. It's a fully stripped out EV with a racing bucket seat. It's an aluminum seat that only has like foam liners just for the driver.
Size
seen
for
that.
him.
For drag racing.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he does it like a no prep style, so like they do it like at nighttime, like in the streets, and like this dude was killing people.
In Mexico, of
Like,
course. In
yeah,
Mexico.
Oh yeah,
Mexico.
Mexico.
And by the way, when I mean killing people, I don't mean physically killing people.
Disclaimer.
He said Mexico
Yeah.
real quick.
He unalived
like,
them.
No.
First off,
No affiliation.
yeah, like first, like when I meant killing people, like he was like literally
Straight
beating-
murder.
Yeah, no, he was like beating people like in these drag races, like with this crazy lightweight Tesla, which it's an early model Tesla, so I'm surprised that like it
They
hasn't
take
been
off.
it hasn't been deactivated.
Yeah.
I think he, if I'm mistaken, I saw something on YouTube or something where he was actually modifying the batteries to run at optimal, like
optimum
peak
level.
Yeah,
And he probably removed it from the grid because like he was messing with like the tuning of the car, so he actually removed it. So it's like it's not even registered in Tesla's thing. He might be, but like they can't see what he's doing or something.
proprietary software.
Yeah.
Just go see this podcast. He's like, why the fuck? Like, shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
No, they'll be calling him, hey, how do we make our roaster go that fast? You know,
I know,
yeah,
right?
like, yeah. But
No.
so I want to get back. I want to ask a couple things, and this next one's going to be to you. So this question usually has an or in it, and we really don't ask anybody, but because I know you, I want to ask this one. What is your favorite car show and anime? Now, the anime doesn't have to be car related, and if it's not, I already know what it is. But, I know for you, that those questions kind of hit home a little bit. So I'm kind of curious. Favorite car show and, or could be a combo, favorite anime?
Favorite car show. So you're talking about like physical, like meeting.
Yeah.
I would say Caffeine and Octane, hands down. It is one of the biggest car meets I've ever seen. And they have been doing it. It's on NBC. You can see it's a wide variety of cars, all sorts of different trims, makes, models, types, Ricey, OEM Plus. Really, really nice car show. You walk around, there's always something to see. It's not the same. I would say anytime I go to Georgia, I will plan it to where I can at least attend that meet one more time. That would be the biggest thing for me.
So what's crazy is that's not the way we envision this question, but thinking of it, the wording, that makes perfect sense.
Car show. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So are we talking about Jeremy Clarkson?
Like that, yeah.
Okay,
like TV, that
the
kind
Grand
of thing.
Tour.
But thinking about it, we're always talking to car people. That could be misconstrued. That question in that simple form, I never thought of it before until you mentioned it.
Absolutely. But yes, I love watching Top Gear and Gran Turismo and all those like movies spin-offs of like
That was a good movie.
That
We
was a
actually-
really good
we
movie.
actually saw that movie in the movie theater.
My wife even really enjoyed it.
So amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
I cried.
Oh, it was sad. There was a
That
few
was-
spots, like
wow.
2 or 3 spots that were very
Yeah.
emotional. But
Yeah, you know that there's actually a car chick and a YouTuber that's in your movie. The chick with the pink hair.
Uh-huh,
Amelia
yep.
Hartford. Shout out to Amelia Hartford. She did awesome in that role, and that chick does like some crazy. You saw that she just got an
Stunts.
R34 Skyline,
Oh, she did?
import, a Bayside Blue one.
Nice.
she just got it, didn't she, recently?
Well, yeah, she did a video about it like within the last month and a
Yeah.
half,
And it's-
but like it's finally here in the States now.
Yeah.
Like that thing is.
It's
gorgeous.
crazy that she started with a 240SX with a V8 in it.
Yeah, she
Remember
did.
that?
And she still has the 240.
She does?
Yeah, it's her drift car, and it's sitting like in the lift right now, and she's still like working on it. But yeah, she was in that movie, so like yeah, shout out to her because she's doing some crazy shit, and she has her own podcast with Kung Sang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher the guy.
Oh, Sung Kang.
with
So, is
Han.
it Sung Kang?
Han.
Yeah,
From
Han, but yeah.
Fast and
from
Furious.
Fast
Yeah.
and Furious
Yeah.
yeah.
Sun Kang?
Yeah, Sung
Yeah,
Kang.
Sung
Yeah.
Kang, I
Sung
think it
Kang.
is. But
Yeah.
so, anyway, so back to the second part of that question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this already, but as I am an anime fan
My
as
favorite
well,
anime.
yeah,
One Piece.
of course,
Hands down.
knew it.
All
Yeah.
the haters can go away. Really, it is a commitment.
Well-
and I got this guy to watch it, and that was actually part of our terms and conditions of the relationship. Is for him to watch.
No, it was not.
all
Okay.
of the-
It was
I'm kidding.
not.
I'm
All
kidding.
right. Listen.
Anyways, he
If you-
made it. So if he
guys
can
have
make
a
it,
contract, you need to reread those contracts.
Well, and I gotta say too, you did right by her because for the last birthday party for her birthday, you did a One Piece
total
theme
One Piece
party,
theme.
which
That
was
was
yeah.
the
Which
best
was
day
awesome.
of my
which
entire
was
life.
which was absolutely
That was cool.
Thank
I'm
you.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was actually
Thank
really
you
awesome.
so much. I will go to my grave happy.
I just want some more cake.
Oh my
That cake
god.
Oh
was
yeah,
delicious.
that shit was
No,
good.
that was
Dude, it was-
delicious.
Dude, all the good man. The pork, you guys, the
Shout
pork and
out
shit
to
here.
Hanui.
All the Puerto Rican food, it was good. man.
Hanui
Oh, yeah, it's
Bakery. She's great. All made
Yeah.
from scratch. But anyways, yes, One Piece has been my bread and butter since I was a little kid. It was on Toonami. It was on Cartoon Network at like 1 a.m. in the morning. Why was I awake when I was that young at that time? Who knows?
I think
But
we
I
all
was
were.
watching One
Toonami.
Piece.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I
that.
think for us was MTV after midnight.
Oh yeah.
That's how you saw the anime.
Dude,
Ninja
I was-
Storm.
But really,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For me,
Well-
it was the Toonami stuff too. Man, that's how I got like Cowboy Bebop and Dragon Ball back
Yes,
in the day.
Cowboy
And that was,
Bebop,
I mean,
so
Dragon Ball was
good.
the obsession. That would be my next
Samurai
tattoo
Jack.
piece.
Yeah,
Samurai Jack was
Oh
pretty
my
good too. Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
that was a good one.
Wow.
Toonami had all just that kind of good OG
Kids
shit
Next
on there,
Door.
man. That was
Oh yeah. Kids
Yeah.
Next
You
Door
start
was a good
getting
one,
those.
I think-
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I started. It was just one time I was watching like MTV music videos.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when they
Yeah,
were like
when it was
music
actual,
videos.
yeah,
VH1.
yeah.
So I'm watching a music video, and then I guess after that I went to like After Dark, and it was
Yeah.
like Cartoon Network, but it was like Tsunami, I guess it was,
Yeah. Anime.
or whatever it was.
Toonami.
And I watched Ninja Scroll. That was the first one I watched, and
That was a
Ninja
good
Scroll is
anime.
pretty gory and sexual.
Yes.
Okay.
You can
That was-
say that. It's fine.
That was my
We're not kid friendly.
that was my first time watching anime, and I was young. It's like this is pretty dope. Like I like cartoons.
Most people don't realize that it was never meant for kids originally in Japan. It was
Yeah, it's
adult
adult.
themed. That
Yeah.
was really what it was for.
Yeah.
So I know that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean that's when I started watching it, and next thing you know I started watching Inuyasha.
Oh, that was a good one.
So that was my first anime.
I've recently added that to my Crunchyroll list to rewatch that 'cause
Oh,
it's been
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched that, and then I watched Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball GT, and then it just
Yeah.
I don't know how many freaking Dragon Balls.
I mean,
chapters
there's
But
at least
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT,
which
and
was
then
fan based.
and
The
then
GT
there's-
was,
yeah.
and then I
Dragon
have
Ball GT was
Super.
fan based, and then there was Super.
Super
yeah.
was the most recent, and the
Which
movie
I saw because like the actual creator of Dragon Ball,
Toriyama recently.
passed.
he
Yeah.
passed recently.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Yes, but he there was an interview that he came out that he said that there was a reason why there was something that came out with Dragon Ball GT. I think like there was a lot of people that weren't a fan of GT, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm doing Super."
Yeah.
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 So
Well,
he
but
created
the
this whole storyline
the whole
because-
GT thing, to my understanding, was heavily like fan fiction based. Like
Yes.
like fans came up with a lot of that, so it wasn't like a true like Toriyama storyline and things, from what I understand. Because if you look at it from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to Super, GT never had to happen. Like
Yeah.
it never had to happen.
But he was, from my understanding, is that he was okay with the GT storyline.
Oh, back then I'm sure, yeah, because they
Yeah.
put it on VHS. So they put it out there. But
Yeah, but anyways,
Interesting.
but yeah. So, what about you? Favorite car show and favorite anime?
Well, fair show, I guess, will be. What's gonna be Top Gear?
Yeah.
The British,
The
British
OG.
one, the
Like the OG,
Yeah,
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 not
yeah.
the
The
new
OG.
stuff.
Okay,
Just
that's
to
how I
clarify.
started watching Jeremy Clarkson. Why? Oh my God, I can't even think about the other two guys now.
Richard Hammond.
Richard
and Jamie.
Hammond.
Hammond,
Yeah.
May.
And May. So I started watching them, and of course, the Stig.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone wants to know who the Stig was. He was Austin Driver, but it's just the commentary was what got me in.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was reading an article today, and really what it comes down to is, and this is why Top Gear's had such a tough time, and they finally found a kind of suiting trio, is it's simply the connection those three have.
They shit
The
on each
way
other.
they are together.
Yeah, it's
you
like-
can't replicate it. It's
Yeah.
just like,
It's like us being friends when we go
Right,
see a ring. We
that's-
talk mad shit to each other,
Yeah.
and we just still have a good time and laugh.
Yeah.
that's it. We don't take it to heart, and we just move on and fuck with the next person. That's just
Exactly.
it. We move on to the
Yeah.
next victim. But
Even if you freeze the other person's car with like your pee.
yeah, right. Like, it's just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keys.
Yeah. So
That's
with
not
that
like
being said, I know that Amazon might be looking for some new guests to continue the Grand Tour. If you guys are looking for
Yes.
some new guests,
We don't
Mike
have-
is not here, but you can
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a quad of
we
people here.
don't have
Partner.
British accents, but we do like to drink and do stupid shit with cars. So we're pretty good at that. Yeah.
That was so generic.
We're well rounded.
We have a good
well-rounded.
connection here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was that. It was Top Gear really got me hooked into it. And
Probably for me
then,
too, yeah.
of course, when it came to anime now, I got back into it.
So many.
I know,
yeah.
but I got back into it.
So
I got back
good.
into anime because of her.
Good on you.
Okay. I got back into it, and I found out what her favorite anime was, and I seen it before, but it wasn't like I don't
You never
remember. It
got
was like a
into
long
it.
time ago. And getting
Yeah.
into it was just like too boring for me. So when I looked into it, it was 1,000 episode at that moment. I
And
was like,
climbing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
That's
was
why
like,
I
I'm
have
never.
There's more manga.
I was like, I'm never going to finish this ever. Well, I did it in 1 year. I watched all of it, and I am up to date right now as we speak. So,
Egghead arc.
That is an undertaking.
but now
Yep.
she didn't make me do it. I did it because I wanted to share the same interests she had
yeah.
and be able to
Yeah.
talk about something. So, I mean, of course, we already have cars and other stuff that we have interest in,
Yeah.
but I wanted to find something else that we can. have in
Spiritual
common.
level. It's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
anime. It's not just.
Now I
anime.
committed. All right, I was watching like
One Piece is a commitment, dude.
Yeah,
That is-
you understand? Like I was hitting. I got home, did my workout, ate, and just sat there and watched like episode after episode, and I just
like
kept
25
pushing
minutes
through.
pop.
Yeah.
Now I did skip the intro. I did skip the ending because
It's all the same.
I don't need to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, I hate that because at the ending they give you like the spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I just skip
That's
straight
why-
off. I don't want to watch
That's
it.
why I always hit Crunchyroll because it gives you things. Skip intro? Yes.
Skip intro,
Skip
yeah.
credits? Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Like
yeah.
that.
I don't want to see any of that
I was a committed fan and I watched all of it. Intro, outro, next episode. I will watch the whole thing. I
But
will
you
not
still
skip.
gotta give credit where credit is.
Yeah,
due.
of
And,
course.
his commitment to watch over 1,000 episodes of an anime is. You
Yep.
gotta give credit.
Yeah,
where credit is due.
exactly.
And I saw something really interesting, which is that somebody actually did the math for all of the episodes. Like, you can watch literally every episode. I'm probably gonna say this incorrectly, but it's like 17 and a half days that you
Yeah.
can watch every episode.
All of them.
Non-stop.
17 and a half days.
Yeah.
So for you to see it like in a year, that's like, I mean, obviously you have like a day job and you have like other stuff going on. Like
I
you
mean, I
said,
did stop for a little bit.
like going to the gym and stuff. So like, a year is a good time frame for you to watch that anime, because like you're not gonna sit there for 17 and a half days like in your TV and just watch it.
That's not.
Let's
Zombified.
not give any ideas
I mean,
here. But
don't get me wrong. Like I've done like some really stupid like binge watching. Like I literally watched. I think I told you like one weekend I was like, I'm gonna be a lazy bum and I'm just not gonna do anything. And I literally saw. I'm not lying to you. The Lord of the Rings,
Oh gosh.
the extended version for both the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
I'd be
in 2
asleep.
days.
I would fall asleep.
In 2 days.
Aren't they like
It's
3
over,
hours?
It's over 100. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
like
over
279 minutes.
they're up there. You're
Yeah.
basically looking at literally at least.
So one full day I
12
watched
hours
The
a day.
Hobbit.
Rewind,
One
rewind.
full day I watched The Hobbit, and then one full day I watched the Lord of the Rings. So like, that's commitment what he did right there. That's
Yeah.
true commitment and true love right
I'm
there.
not lying though. We did binge watch the Harry Potter series.
Oh, I've done that too.
Yeah, just as a refresher.
I mean, we do it every year because they
And
put on TV.
hold on,
So.
and we watch almost. I think we watch every single Marvel in their time
Chronological
series.
order.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Disney, because
They actually
you
put
guys
it
did
in
that.
It does
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I didn't have
Yeah.
to go online and like map it out and share that, but thank you for doing
The
that.
only thing they don't have is the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Ooh.
The last time that I checked, they didn't have them.
No, because
I don't have Disney Plus anymore
It's
because I
It
started
doesn't-
Sony
seeing a
again,
bunch
isn't
of
it?
Yeah,
stuff.
Sony has
I
it.
think, or,
Yeah. Well, I only have HBO Max, Paramount Plus, and Netflix. I think.
I'm not sure what it's on. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's not technically Marvel controlled, Disney controlled anymore.
Yeah.
It's something weird, but we got so far off topic, and we're
We
kind of
did.
running there. So one last question specifically, a guided question that we want to know, back to car related, and it is, what is your dream car or your dream car build if you were to build it from the ground up?
I already have my dream car.
I pretty much know the answer to that for you,
It's
but
the 8.6, hands
Yeah.
down.
That's awesome.
It's a work in progress, but like I said, time between having a job and having other hobbies and
yeah.
scarcity of parts makes it hard to complete, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to quit.
And I get that with trying to source random parts for my Nissan that has an engine that was only offered in Japan, so I'm having a hell of a time sourcing a couple things. So for you having an actual like full drivetrain sourcing issues, like I feel for you because that's a pain in the
that's
ass.
like the one thing you can't
Yeah.
be without. So it's like
Yeah, I feel for you on that
You
one.
can try and limp it around, but no,
Yeah.
that is my dream car, hands down.
Cool.
Nice.
And she's forgetting that she has to plug for
Parts.
Toyota parts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
When they're available.
When they're available, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you
Probably
talking
on
about?
the waiting list.
God.
So the plug is working. She's just on the waiting list.
Jeez.
The plug got you the Marizo
True.
He did.
at a
He
phenomenal
did.
price point. So
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
after like a year and a half of waiting.
yeah.
Hey, we were number 2 on the waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were 7, and then we started moving up.
Oh nice.
Yeah, and everyone
we were-
before us
no,
got
no,
like
no.
cores and circuits.
No, we were number 5. We weren't 7. No,
There's
we
a
were
couple
number
that
4 or
dropped
5.
out.
And then
Because it was just chance that you fell into Marizo, right?
well, it
'Cause I
was,
thought I
it
was
was
getting the
luck.
core.
It was
Yeah.
luck. Because the first one that came in was a core.
Mm-hmm.
That the basic model came
Yeah.
in. And the dude that was number 1 took it. Then 2 other people said, hey, I don't want to be involved anymore. I don't need it. So they left, and then we went to number
Losers.
2. So we're out having lunch, and we're having a good time just eating, feeding our faces and being fat, whatever. And next thing you know, I get a phone call from leadership. It's one of my friends. She's like, hey, we have a Corolla here. Do you want it? I'm like, what model? She's like, I don't know. Something about a Marizo. I don't know what that is. I'm like, yes, we will take it.
Yeah.
Like, let's take it.
Sold.
When we get there, it's number 47 of 200, as she said earlier. And that thing is mint.
All I can say
it's
is
a badass car.
Yeah.
All I can say is I'm jealous of number 69. I know you know what you have. You're not gonna let it go, so.
Giggity goo.
Yeah, like how you have your peaker if they don't have a Quagmire peaker on theirs. It's just wasted on it. Absolutely wasted on them.
They should.
Absolutely wasted.
Man.
You got the
You
little
can probably
Kobayashi
look
one.
into that registry, so look up number 69.
We'll find out. Where's he going?
He's
I
got
can
it.
probably find them and tag them, and I'm gonna clip this, and I'm gonna tag you and tell you, bro, what are you doing? If you don't have this.
I know, right? Jeez.
But yeah, no.
Sell it for 69, 420.
Yes.
Ooh.
But they're pretty.
Elon Musk
Elon Musk.
and Tesla. What about you, Danny? What's your dream car?
Yeah, you've
or
been through
dream
some
build?
wild shit, so.
Yeah, because
All right.
okay, so and before you jump into that, so you have an R32 GTR, which is already a bucket list car for a ton of people that are probably watching this.
A stock one is a bucket
A
list.
stock one is a bucket list, and yours is like pushing out like what, almost 800 horsepower,
1,000.
almost a thousand.
1,000.
Okay, so they're like 875 to like
Okay.
900, but it's capable of 1,200 horsepower.
Okay.
The whole motor's built.
And on top of that, you have a Chevy SS with a lot of choppy chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with this. So, in the garage right now, as we speak, we have her 1985 Corolla
GTS.
GTS
Coupe.
AE86 Coupe.
Zenki.
Okay.
Dream car already.
Yes.
Her dream car. Candy apple red, first of all.
Yes.
She forgot to mention that.
Yes.
We should have put the freaking bumper on the table.
And I know, right?
Yeah, it's
I
right
can
there.
grab it really
By the
quick.
The bumper.
It's in
By the way,
bedroom.
the body kit has its own like bedroom. Like it actually,
Yeah,
it
it's
sleeps
on
on
a
a bed
mattress. It's on a
comfortably on a
mattress.
mattress.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, so
Maybe I
we
should
have.
clip that here.
Yeah, you need a picture really.
Oh, jeez, no.
So we have the AE86 in the garage. We have my 1992 R32 GTR with the Nismo edition stuff on it. That one has a full built motor. Now that motor, like we talked about earlier, it's the same motor as in my professional Pro-Am drift car. So
Yes.
that one's fully built. Has a H-cast 2 or 2.8 stroker kit, cams, everything you name it is all
So
done.
RB28 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So whole thing's done. Stock transmission.
So good.
Has stock transmission still running, and I'm running a triple plated clutch, always Genki on it. Surprisingly, still haven't exploded my transmission. I know a lot of GTR guys know what I'm talking about. This ain't real wood, whatever.
Knock on wood.
But
Or maybe one of these double barrels, right?
Yeah.
Scott
There
Wood.
you go.
Wait,
Don't
which
have
is
it.
double barrel?
None of them.
I don't
Oh,
know.
this
Oh,
one,
okay.
this one.
Double, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Double barrel A's, knocking
Yeah.
on all the wood.
So I have that. I built that. No,
The same thing with my hand. It's like, oh, wow. The fact that I thought the same thing for a moment.
So
wow.
stupid.
This is why we're friends, by the way.
and this is what we're drinking too.
Exactly.
Oh Lord.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, but no, we have that. I built that. Now, okay, talk about dream car. Okay, the 32 was my dream car
Okay.
since Gran Turismo.
Okay.
Okay, 32 is the car I always wanted. I finally got it. I finally was able to use the money that I put my life for.
On the line for? Yeah.
Literally.
Literally, I took all that money that I earned and when I was in Afghanistan, and I took that money and I literally just dumped it on a R32 when they were cheap. And this thing was condition A, beautiful, mint, taken care of. Still had the smell of that cigarette smell in there because they smoked in
Yeah.
there.
Japanese.
But-
Utah, Fujiwara.
yes.
But
Yes.
I bombed it, cleaned it, smells good. Still has that 1990s Japanese smell to it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
Yep.
Yours
Now
has
Now
it.
I know, yeah.
I know that.
I
I
found
love
two
that
little
smell.
burn marks too right on the side
Exactly.
from the cigarette. Yeah.
So
Exhaust
you,
fumes.
you still have that 90s Japanese smell into it, And that was my dream car. That was my baby. And I'm not lying to you, I was scared to shit to drive it over here.
Yeah.
Like I was just scared because, like I told you, I got T-bone. The
Oh, yeah,
second
yeah.
week I was here.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. There's a lot of older people that drive in this area, and sometimes they don't pay attention. And there are younger kids now that moved out here that don't pay attention because they're on their phones. So it does
Yes.
scare me. I did have a couple of close calls, but then I pay attention to my rear mirror, and I actually took off, and they missed me. But That's what scares me. That's why I barely ever drive the GTR and it sits in the garage. Sorry, I know. I get to enjoy it, but I don't that much.
I mean, your insurance makes it a little difficult too, because I looked into the same company.
Well, actually, my insurance is pretty good.
No, are they? Oh, they when I called them, they were like, "Yeah, you're limited to this. You got to go here or there." And
Well, okay, yeah, it's limited in driving.
Yeah.
They give you the mileage and stuff like that, but like I said, I don't drive it, and I only drive it to. I'd rather drive it to like car meets, stuff like that, to like people to enjoy, what it looks. I don't lie to you though. I've been to car meets with this freaking car, and people walk by it. They didn't even know what the hell it was.
No, they don't know. No.
Okay.
They would probably know about it
Same
now.
with the GR.
Because,
now they know because it's more.
Yeah, it's
more
more
popular
well known.
now.
And it's funny that you're saying that because we were. No, I don't think you were there because you were working that day. But
Most
we
likely.
were. It was when I still had my Mazda Speed 3. You were at a car show in Bonita.
Okay.
And I recognized the car for two things. One, or actually three things. For one, the car, because your car is very easy to spot when it's on the road. Two, the color, very easy to spot on the road. And three, the sticker that's on the rear.
The rear window.
I was like, I saw it and I'm like, that's Danny Diaz. Which was, I can't remember what it was, but it was a coffee shop and it's now a Starbucks. Do you remember that? It's like south of Gulf Coast Motor Works on the right.
Isn't it right there by the there's a tractor
Oh,
supply
no,
or something
yeah.
right
I know
there?
what you're talking about. It's right next to my barbershop.
Yes. So,
It's in the little plaza.
yes. Yeah, and there's like a outdoor furniture zinc or some shit.
Yeah,
So
we went there not too long ago.
We were
the last
there
couple of years, I
like
think.
last year or the year before. But we were there for Cars and Coffee, and you were there, and I still had my Speed 3. Goes to show how long ago this was, by the way, because like I still had my Speed 3. That shit's like long gone. But I saw it and I was like, yo, that's Danny Diaz. And I like ran over to your car and I was like, yo, this thing's badass. So your car definitely is like
iconic.
It's iconic and it is like a dream car.
Now, I did build that car from bottom up. I took everything out. There's pictures on Instagram, stuff like that. I'll send to you if you want to see them. But I could show you all the surface rust it had. It wasn't like crazy surface rust when I did that, but it was just normal surface rust that you get,
Some of the little shit I'm dealing with. Yeah.
It's JDM from 1990 in Japan. How much water and shit to get over there. But I took it all out, put my race motor in there. So now it's like a full blown shiny ass like show car.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I still have his dings and scratches when it came from over there. And I left them the way it is. I literally left them. Like people ask me, "Oh, why don't you fix them?" I'm like, why? That's how it came. It gives it character. That's.
Well, that was like you were talking about last time when I first brought my Cedric over. You were talking about it, and like I purposely left the little dents, even though I had it paint corrected, because it was just the character it came with the car. Like that was it. Like you were telling me how many hours the guy spent on paint correction. You were explicit. Do not touch. Don't worry about the dents.
This is reminding me of my brother and something very important he told me. He said, just drive the damn thing. Stop trying to fix everything. Yeah. He keeps telling me about my 8.6, so yes, I know, but that's pretty much what we got to do.
And I love that for all people that buy the crazy high-end stuff, too.
The cat is on the counter.
Cat's trying to get a drink. But,
what can I say?
Hey, no, it's fine.
You're on the wrong counter. You gotta jump on this
Sorry,
one.
our cats are on the counter. There we go. She's off now.
Yeah.
She knows better.
She saw the boots and she's like, "What's going on? Is a party? No one invited me?"
They're not paying attention. I can get on the counter. Psych.
So I gotta ask this. So with all that you've put into that and you built what was your dream car, is it still the dream car?
It's a good question.
So it was my dream car. And I guess I satisfied that.
Yeah, that itch.
That I wanted, and I had it for so long that now I want to do something different.
So what's next there, buddy?
You don't have to
the
say
pressure's
it,
on.
but you can give us hints of what you want to do.
Okay, the thing is, I have also a 2017 Chevy SS sedan, also known as a Holden Commodore from Australia. I blew the motor. Whatever.
You blow a lot of motors and blow a lot of trannies, you know that?
Listen.
Him turning?
Shifted,
I was
and
gonna say something, but I
forward.
can't. I don't want to say it.
In reverse.
I don't want your podcast to be demonetized and stuff like that.
It's not monetized as of right now, but you know what? It's strictly for entertainment, so I'm sure our listeners and viewers that are listening, they're probably going to find that very entertaining anyways.
All right, so the motor blew. and I rebuilt the motor. I built the motor within like what, a month or two, maybe within a month or two, and it's fully ready to go boosted. Pretty much what it is. I have an LSA supercharger in the garage to put on it. The car is ready to be able to boost at least. I mean, it's able to at least get like 700-800 horsepower if I wanted to. But all motor right now tuned. It did 550 at the motor. Built motor. The only thing I have stock in it right now is the block and the crankshaft, because the crankshaft can hold power, no problem. But
it's got an LS3.
It's an LS3 Corvette motor in it. That's what it has in it. That's where it originally came from Australia. Now the car is all built in Australia, all assembled in Australia. Comes over to the U.S. and they put Chevy badges on it with a bow tie. I actually took it like everyone else and rebadged it to what it was originally, which is the Holden Commodore, line.
Which somehow
SSV.
looks so much better than the standard bow ties. It's just.
But you know what's crazy though? Australian put Chevy badges on it, and we put.
I think the Chevy. When I see one of the Chevy badges, it just looks like a fancy Impala. It cheaps it up.
Or a Chevy Malibu.
It cheaps it up. Or a Malibu.
I call it the Impala-boo.
The Impala.
It's a mixture of both. It's like they both had a kid together, you know?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. People do ask me, hey, like I have people like, hey, is that the new Impala? I was like, nah, brother, this ain't the new Impala. No, your normal Impala. I mean, I have people ask me if that's the new Jaguar because it has the line in the front and stuff like that, or whatever. But no, that is a full build motor in it. Tuned trans. It has a Camaro LE1 or what's the Camaro?
1LE track version.
Torque converter in it.
Okay.
Because I used that because I didn't want to go with a high stall. Yeah. So I used something kind of like OEM stock, but it still had that good stall to it.
Yeah.
And that thing, dude, it hits hard. So never had a problem. I'm having a problem now with the tune for the transmission, which I'm about to do some data logging later on after this. I build trannies all day long. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Why are you looking at me?
Tina,
I didn't look
Why
at
you
you.
glanced over? I
missed
think my
something?
parts are intact.
Tina's
Anyway.
gonna start questioning. You're like, he's blowing a lot of trannies.
No,
That
but-
explains a lot.
No, but like that car was a random build, and it was literally, I'll be honest with you, it's my first V8.
Okay.
I never really like was into the V8s, so I went to the dark side, like everyone talks about. You know, when you go V8, you go to the dark side, and I did. I went to V8, I went to the dark side. I love the fucking torque. I like it. I'm that chop on it. The way you're like just sitting at the light and it's just like shaking you to sleep,
My
like just
titties
like
jiggle.
you know.
He likes that.
All right, now I understand the reason for cams.
I'll say from that comment that she just made.
I mean, is it not
the three
true?
of us actually grabbed lunch.
Mine
one
jingle
day.
too. It's okay.
Yeah.
It shakes his titties too.
Yeah, the three of us actually went to lunch one day. We went to, which we've got to go back, man. That place
Where?
is really good. Gandulas.
Oh my
Gandulas?
gosh.
We went to
I still gotta
Yes.
go out there.
We'll
So good.
We'll plan a day so
Yeah.
we can go. But like the three of us actually went, and you turned, because your car has a remote start, and you turned it on, and I literally just like, or
Shit
was
your
it before
pants.
or after? I think it was after. And like I turned my car on, and granted, like I brought my Corvette that day because I'm like, oh, let me bring my fun car because I know he's gonna bring his SS because it's his daily. And then and then
It's my daily too, by the way.
yes, get 7
So
miles
is
per
the
gallon.
GR.
I get 27.
For real, I get 7 miles.
But and the funny thing was is that like when I brought it that day, I was like, holy fuck, I don't want to bring my Corvette around your Chevy SS because it just puts my car to shame.
The bigger dog.
Because yeah, it's just like literally just like biggest dick competition, and he obviously wins with the fucking Chevy SS. Not that. Anyways, but yeah, no, like the freaking cam chop on that Chevy SS and the dude, it's what he was just about to say is that your car literally sitting on idle, literally just
moves. It just shakes the whole car.
LS problems, man.
I
LS
know.
problems.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Which, so speaking of which, so are you both going to that rally?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, she's not taking her car. We're taking the SS.
Yeah, because you can only bring one car to the rally.
And only make 300 horses.
Yeah.
It's fine. I have 400, which is not that far from you anyways. he's got 500 on me, or like 500. So
And
I'm gonna be like,
I wanted to go.
yeah,
I want to put the family hauler on the track.
Cool. Let's go.
yeah, I'm sick.
Explosive
I'm sick.
diarrhea
Yeah.
out of
There
both
you go.
ends.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder when you're one of the leaders and a manager of the place.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's a
I
big-
know where you're coming from because I'm a manager.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, don't let him hear this.
You don't work
It's okay.
Sundays though.
But so
Huh?
what
You
we
don't
were
work Sundays.
No, he does.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh,
You-
hell
my
no.
bad. It
I
has to
live
be
for the weekend.
One of my every
Fuck
third
that.
Listen.
Sundays happens to fall on that.
Yes.
Sucks to be you right now. Sorry.
I know.
Yeah. So what we were hinting at was the rally. We're gonna be doing it's Florida Street
No, it's a G.
something.
Well,
FST.
It's FST, but it's a GT rally for Sebring. So it's all the GT cars.
Yes, but
But we're doing a rally, which is, I guess we're meeting up with at the Fun Factory,
Freedom Factory.
Freedom Factory,
Yeah.
Yes.
with Cletus. Whatever it
Yes.
is.
So
Cletus.
For
so
DOT
Cletus-
Factory Freedom.
Yes. So Cletus McFarland is actually gonna have Cars and Coffee at the Freedom Factory. It's actually organized by Florida Street Scene, but it's I don't know. God, I'm gonna clip this and share it. And she's probably gonna fucking hate me. Tiffany from FSC. She I don't know what the T stands for, but I know it's FSS, which is Florida Street Scene.
Yeah, because that's her tag is FSS Tiffany.
Yes, but we're gonna do that rally. I signed up for it. You signed up for it. Anthony signed up for it, and then
Mark,
Mark,
our friend Mark, he has a 1,000 horsepower Camaro that he just finished building,
Oh shit!
and he has the R35 premium package on GTR.
Wait, was that the white one?
The white one, yeah.
Oh, that was the guy that was in Cars and Coffee then.
Oh, okay.
The one that was
Damn.
here at in Camp Coral.
Yeah.
That's probably was him, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the,
it
yeah.
is
the,
here in
last-
Cape.
the good one they
Okay.
had, one of the best ones in the area. They got shut down by
that
some
thing
Mustang guys.
Yeah.
That thing was pretty.
Anyways,
no.
Florida Street Tour.
Oh,
is
okay. Florida
I
Street.
had to look it up.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Is your buddy also signing up?
Mhm, he did already. He was the first one signed up, and he because
Raglu, is it his name?
Robert.
Robert. Okay,
Well,
Robert.
I told
Robert,
Robert about
okay.
it, but unfortunately, he has family
Oh, okay.
that weekend, so he won't be able to make it. Trust me, I try to get him in because he either has a Z. Okay, if you ever get Robert on the show, Robert has.
Talk to him. I would love to have him on the podcast.
I told
by the
him,
way.
I'm like, so Robert has a Holden Commodore just like mine, okay, and Chevy SS. Actually, has two of them. He sold one to his brother, so he had two of them. One is burnt orange and one's black. That one, the black one, is LS8 supercharged, making about 700 horsepower. He has a ZR1 Corvette C7.
Yes, Dream Car.
Okay.
Jesus.
He has two GTOs. One is twin turbo, making 1,000 horsepower, and then the other one is just stock LS2 or LS3 in it. GTO, converted to Holden. Pretty much all his stuff is converted to Holden.
Yeah.
He also has an Evo and
I
a
didn't know
Subaru
about
STI.
that. I didn't know about those 2
Mhm.
But
I didn't know.
when we went to the Edison,
Yeah.
when we saw Brian, he was there with the orange twin turbo one. The orange one is
Yeah,
twin
the
turbo.
orange GTO.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've talked to him because like we ran into him at that Cars and Coffee, and then obviously here for your birthday party, the One birthday party.
Iconic.
And he's been a cool dude. So like I definitely would love to have him on the podcast just to like so he can share his
Oh,
story.
yeah.
Super
'cause
cool.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a
He's
cool
so
guy.
cool.
Super interesting. Like his background and everything is super interesting, and how he got into cars and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
he didn't do like any like
Motorsports.
motorsport stuff like that. It just
He's just a car
it was a
enthusiast.
passion,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like us. Like I don't even have any more room in my freaking driveway to keep these cars because I have two other cars, but they're just like freaking
With
dinky
me and
cars.
him here, you're done. You're
So-
I know.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna say 2 things that can help you with that problem, and
Give
you're
it the
gonna
beaters?
and you're gonna hate me for that.
hurricane flood.
No.
Otherwise-
No. Well, we're in Florida, but yes, no. Bend pack, car lift.
Is
True.
the ceiling even high enough?
The what?
4-post
Ceiling?
lift. They make them high enough for home garages.
They do, but I think
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
think the problem is with mine is that my garage is not long wise.
Oh, okay.
So my
Like, I could
door
f-
comes over. So
Oh,
that's
okay,
the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
fit one the way my setup is, but
Yeah,
it's
but
still-
you
it's
have
tricky.
3-car garage. I'm
Why?
compared to my
That's
2-car.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, you have way more things going on in yours than I could possibly do in my chaos with the kids' shit,
Yeah,
boxes,
by the way,
all
your,
that.
Your garage is fucking awesome, by the way. Not just for the cars, but like the fucking tool boxes that you have there. Like It's
a
like
mess.
Cabinets.
It's like Dream Garage.
Listen, it's a mess.
You say
But
it's
it's
a mess.
but it's decent. But it's a mess to me.
Yeah, but
Between me and her, we're like
it's
perfectionists.
got good bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe he'll do a tour and you guys could like watch over. But
I'll just do a quick scan
Yeah.
of it
Pan
and
through.
post it here.
I want to get back to that dream car.
yeah.
Yes.
Real
Yes.
quick.
Go ahead.
So besides the GTR, I got the SS. That one's awesome too. But I'll be honest with you. I've always been a Porsche fanatic.
Oh, I know where you're gonna
Nick.
get at.
So I know.
I know where you're gonna get at.
So I already got my dream car since I was a kid is the GTR.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been contemplating on there's something wrong with the GTR right now, which I have to fix.
Yeah.
But once I fix it, I'm contemplating on selling the GTR, taking the money, and buying a GT3 RS
Okay.
Porsche.
Okay.
Like,
Now, okay,
like
I get
996, 992. Like, what gen we talking about? What year range?
like 2024.
Okay.
Okay,
Like custom order, like what you want
Yes.
as you want it, kind of. Okay.
I want it green.
Maybe it might be 25.
Okay.
of a bitch.
Okay. Okay.
What?
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Hold
There's a
on.
lot of
Grasshopper
hold on, hold
vibes.
on. Because me and Nick literally we spent like one podcast actually looking
literally
looking
playing
into
around
this.
building. A
We were literally
911.
on the podcast playing with colors. What color of green would you do?
Yeah, we both kind of came down to the same decision
Yeah,
as
him
well.
and I have the same mindset, which is
What color?
So it started because I always loved the idea of British racing green
yes.
with the brown guts.
Yes.
However, Porsche has their own version that has metallic flake in it,
It's
and they call it Porsche racing green.
Yes, Porsche Racing
Okay.
Green.
So it's darker, but with a nice metallic flake, and it just kind of, I've always had a thing for that. I think they call it lizard green or something like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
bright
yeah,
obnoxious.
yeah.
I love that too, but something about that OG classic race car idea of the British racing, the Porsche racing green, just kind of, the two of us kind of fell into that with the bronze wheels on it. Like it was just kind of like,
We
Ugh.
literally spec'd out a GT3 touring Porsche on the podcast. And that is the color that him and I both decided on. And I actually went above and beyond and I actually kind of spec'd one out like when I was on my own. And you can actually do not Porsche Racing Green interior accents like the seat belts and the stitching and the gauge cluster and shit like that. But you can do lizard green, which matches the green on the outside.
It's kind of. I'm sorry. I find it funny that we all went green.
Fuck,
Yes.
man, it is.
I just thought I'm just thinking about it. I was like, I said green, and then both of you guys were like, oh,
green and
God.
black are my go-to colors, which is just so bizarre. Because even my wife, when I sent her colors for the wraps for the Cedric, she was like, "Oh, the green one." I bought the fucking purple one. Like I've always purple and green. Because I always said if I got an RS6, I either want one of the greens they do, or the whatever the one Merlin purple. I always love the dark
pretty
metallic greens, dark
Yeah.
metallic purples. So like, and I went purple for the something about that just gives me more of a Yakuza vibe. I don't know, that dark because it's called like
yeah.
black violet. It basically is
Okay.
black with a metallic purple to it.
I don't know if you know this,
Yeah.
but I think my drift car was purple too.
It
You've had a lot of-
was.
you've had a lot of
It
purple.
was. It was purple. Purple with teal accents.
With
I
teal.
remember that.
Okay, so the
Do
whole.
you have a picture of that?
I think
You'll
I
have to
do.
share that.
You're
We'll
gonna have to
post
send it
that.
to me
Yeah.
so I can share it on the
So-
podcast here.
So I went with the HKS theme,
Yes.
purple and kind of teal color.
Yes.
Makes
So
so
the
much
the
sense.
full inside. Okay, my whole motor is HKS. I was like a big fan of HKS. I was a fangirl. Put it this way. I don't want to.
I mean, the first thing I bought for my Nissan was an HKS Superflow intake. Like, it was the very first thing I bought.
By
Like,
the way, I know that you. So, did you see that when me and Mike went to the Revs Institute, Cars and Coffee, and we shot over to Craft Sports? There's an R32 GTR with literally had twin HKS filters.
oh, that's exactly
on the
what I would
car.
do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do.
So, this freaking
Interesting.
guy.
I have a problem.
By the way, if you guys want to,
not just you.
Well, yeah.
yeah, if you guys want to, so the first weekend of November, Revs Institute has their Cars and Coffee in November.
I will be
You
requesting
guys,
for that one.
you guys need to show up because we, like me and Mike went. We were so mind blown because first off, the diversity of the cars that were at the Revs Institute was mind blowing. Literally, you went from like your classic JDM cars to like old school classic muscle cars to like literally like newer style. Like you had exotic cars over there, like in hypercars and shit. There was a 918 Spider over there. But there's so much history in that museum You guys need to go. You guys would fucking love this place. It's really fucking cool.
Is that the one in Naples?
Yeah, it's off of airport.
I heard about there's a museum there. I didn't even know.
Airport Loop.
So, okay, real quick about that museum. It's actually someone's personal collection.
Yeah. So the person who actually owns it is, and I'm gonna butcher this. It's shit. I forgot the guy's first name.
I didn't know that I found this out. That's why.
No, yeah. Fun facts too, by the way. So it's whatever Collier is that is alive right now.
Uh huh.
So it's, and mind you, Collier is actually a county here in South Florida, which is Naples. So he actually owns this museum, and it's actually his personal collection. His grandfather's car is actually there,
Okay.
which I have a picture of the guy's name, but I forgot. I'm horrible with names, like I said. Fun facts with, you're going for that chicken cock.
Yes, please.
Someone's feeling
Please.
cocky.
Chicken cock double oak.
Yeah, please put my chicken cock in your
Double
mouth.
oak chicken cock. Okay.
This got gay really quick.
Yeah. So a couple fun facts about the Revs Institute, by the way.
Fucking killed me.
So obviously one of them is actually owned by the Collier County family. Did you guys know that and actually you too? Did you know that the Collier family had an influence with creating the SCCA today?
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that actually.
Yeah. So they actually had an influence with creating the SCCA. And also at the same time, they helped design Watkins Glen.
I knew that. I'd heard that actually. As
Yeah.
weird as that is.
Yeah. So the Collier family member that is actually into cars, and there's actually a biography, and I'll actually link it in the description. You guys should read it. It's actually really interesting. So the Collier family member that is alive today, he's huge into cars. His grandmother was into cars, or great grandmother was into cars, and she
That's
actually
sick.
was a race car driver.
Okay.
Yeah, and so her husband was the one that created Collier County. So he was into cars. His uncle, it's funny enough, his name is actually the one that I remember, is Stephen Collier, because it stands out because he actually died during like an actual accident at Watkins Glen. The Collier County family helped it redesign Watkins Glen with extra safety features to prevent further drivers from actually passing away during a race.
Wow.
So it's actually really interesting. Like I said, I'll link that link to just the description. Really interesting. Apparently, there's a book. You can buy it at Revs Institute or on Amazon. But
That's pretty dope.
it's cool because like I did not know that the Collier County family has so much influence in racing.
You want to know how I found that out?
How did you find out?
I was on Google looking for restaurants.
You were looking for what?
I was looking for restaurants.
That's funny.
I'm a
shit.
foodie, okay? So
Well, I am too. Obviously.
Yeah, well.
we're
Me
all
three.
foodies.
yeah.
For
So
most
I have
my-
to add
for most my money goes.
One thing. Your last birthday, we actually went to a place. We shout out to them with Stone Throw.
oh yeah, yeah, that's
That
right.
place was
We love
So
that.
good.
Yeah, we went there like
man.
2 weeks
Oh
prior
my
to when they
God.
first opened, and then you were like, "We're going for my birthday." I'm like, "Fuck, let's go again. Let's go, man. Like, totally worth it. Let's
They
go."
know what they're doing.
No, it was
Yeah.
it was
It was amazing,
okay.
dude.
Service, that dude, I forgot his name, was awesome.
Yeah.
Like he was on point.
My first time, I offered the guy a sales job. I tried getting him to leave. He was so good. He was all tatted up. He was that good. I gave my business card. I said, "If you ever want to switch, call me."
That's funny.
Like, oh yeah, no, they
think
have
it's like
they get some
Richard.
good servers.
They have great
Richard.
service.
I know, but he was on point. We were a big group too, and he was.
Oh yeah.
He made sure.
Everything
Yeah.
came out really
He
quick,
had
which
live
is
music, and I whispered to him. I was like, "Oh, it's his birthday. Can you have him sing?"
Oh, yeah,
And he
yeah,
came
that's
up
right,
with
that's
the
right.
saxophone
Yeah,
next to him.
yeah.
Murr, murr, murr. I'm like, "Damn,
Oh, I
okay."
have the squirrels now playing their saxophone.
It was actually Kenny G. He was
Yeah.
like, serve me.
Delicious,
Yeah,
delicious.
That place is awesome.
No, but
Yeah.
I was looking for a food place, and somehow I saw something on the map. Like, what is this? I clicked on it, and there's
There's a cafe.
It's a museum.
In the Revs.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
there's a museum that popped up, and it's about cars. Like, holy shit! Because the only other museum I knew about was the one in Port Charlotte that closed down.
Muscle car one.
Yeah,
The muscle car city.
Yeah, Muscle Car City.
And I always wanted to go, and I never got the chance to go.
I never been there either.
Crazy, and it's
I
only
got a
like
chance to go once.
it's only 20 minutes away.
From us.
From
yeah,
here,
it's
20 minutes away,
25
and we've
minutes.
never been to it. It's crazy. And of course, I go there for the cars and coffee they had there now. and I never knew about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you don't know, like, unless you like search, you don't know about these places or word of mouth, whatever the case is. But I saw that, and then I was like, what is this? And then I read into it. And I read, and I was like, holy crap, this is actually someone's personal collection that moved to become a museum for someone to you know show and inspire
and I think they do like live restorations there too, don't they? I think they've done stuff like that where they've actually had things in process of restoration going through stages on display.
Okay. Yes, they do have some stuff in house where they actually do some restoration and stuff like that.
It's just a wild place.
It is.
I've never been there, but I've seen so many pictures and read.
I think it's time. I think it's time for all of us to get together and head over there. Let's check it out.
So no, I 100% agree because me and Nick have actually been talking about going there for fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me and Mike went for the last Cars and Coffee, and I saw the ad for obviously on Facebook, and I was like, "Yo, like, let's go!" And obviously he had work, so I uploaded a picture, tagged them, and they said our next one is in November. Outside of November, they're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I think is when the museum is actually physically open. So I'm down to go whenever you guys want to go.
Well, we just missed the Cars and Coffee in Naples today. I didn't
know
know
it was
one
the Mercado one.
That was at the Mercado. That's actually really good Cars and Coffee.
It's pretty good.
The F40 was there again, the black one.
Got this
F40
red.
getting out, huh? That thing's
It was
coming
red.
I don't think I ever saw that F40.
There's
it was
a
there.
red
But
Ferrari.
actually,
Actually.
a buddy of ours was there. Chris Isas was there.
Yeah, they saw some shots I thought of.
Yeah, he has an NSX. Actually, Brian was there, which I'm tagging Brian on this, and he's gonna be on the podcast. He's got no say into this. He's gonna be on the podcast, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen that car. Oh, actually, that's from Brian.
Yeah, it's from Brian. He was there this morning.
Yeah.
But there was an F40 there, black, old school Ferrari.
Yeah.
Dang.
There's because the most common color is red for the Ferrari F40. But regardless, like the Mercado has awesome. Actually, I ran into you guys at the Mercado Cars and Coffee one day, right next to, go figure, an AE86. I was
the
drooling.
red one. I remember.
It was funny as shit because I was drooling all over this thing, and I look over and I'm like, and I think you caught my attention, and I was like, oh, that's Danny and Tina. What's up, guys?
Small world.
Yeah, small world. But and now we hang out. We have them on the podcast. We go to number 3 a lot. Brandon.
They live like half a mile from me, and I don't hang out with them more than I already do.
So
Shame on you.
I know.
That's crazy because we literally live 3 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. I've
3
been there-
minutes away.
I've been there for like 9 years now.
I know.
Like,
and you hate me.
Damn.
Secretly hate me
Well,
because you don't want to hang out with me. It's okay.
No, we didn't start talking until like closer to like a year
It's
ago.
okay.
So.
I live 45 minutes away. If you're like, yo, like come by and swing out a beer, I will drive 45 minutes to come.
He does. He
Because
does.
we're gonna move to Cape eventually.
Yeah, you're
Eventually.
gonna move down
I
here.
am gonna move to the Cape eventually.
We've got some things in motion to help them do that, but we're working on that.
But
Go for
I got a
me.
question for you guys. I know you guys are asking those questions where you're guests in your podcast, but I
Yeah.
want to know what's your favorite card and what will be your dream, what was your dream car? The kind of same question you asked us.
Okay.
Because I want to know about you guys as
Yeah.
well.
I feel
Okay,
it.
that's fair enough, and I feel like that's a really good question because I feel like we talk a lot on the podcast. Obviously, it's our
Yeah.
podcast, but I don't think we've ever actually had anybody.
He just pulled the
Come back
reverse
to us,
card
I
on
know,
you.
Yeah.
Reverse.
Bruno, boom.
So, I've got a couple cars to actually go through and think about. So, Nick, go ahead and go first.
So I've got a realistic one that I was shopping for before I ordered my Explorer's replacement, which is another Explorer or an Aviator. I have one of each on order. Not knowing which one I'm going with yet. Yeah. It's the same drivetrain, so all my shit's moving there. If I do the Aviator, I'll have the loudest Aviator in the state of Florida, probably. Most obnoxious Aviator. But my realistic one that I was shopping for recently, used, but I say realistic for money aspects compared to like a hypercar, is an Audi RS6. I fucking love wagons. I love the twin turbo V8, even though they're mild hybrids now as well. They're still insane. And I love a wagon, and it fits the kids, it fits the dogs. It's the perfect ultimate dad mobile in my eyes. Which, we've had the chance to drive the Cadillac Escalade V, and after driving that, like, it's quick.
and the CT4
But it's hefty.
Blackwing and the
I think
CT5
I say my Explorer, my Mod Explorer keeps up. So like it didn't wow me, all these high end SUVs and stuff. So for a realistic everyday car, an Audi RS6, and I only say realistic, but due to the means, I can
Performance
swing it
package?
if I need to.
You've seen the performance one, right?
Yes, but honestly, it's not going to stay stock. So it doesn't really matter to me. You know, at the end of the day, it's
Let's be honest.
so yeah, it's not.
It's gonna be
that
my
part doesn't
family car
matter.
daily. I gotta touch it. 3 months,
In
2 months later.
terms of the like financially for me, at least at this moment, untouchable dream car, you actually just mentioned a little bit ago, Ferrari F40. I mean, it's just one of the most iconic, most epic cars.
Is that sound
ever.
of that engine?
There's just there's something about it. You know what I mean? There's to your point, the sound. There's one of those. Every cylinder count has like its iconic car, and for me, that's the F40 and the V12. Obviously, LSA, maybe a Carrera GT in the V10.
Yeah.
Like you go through some of these things, but there's something about the F40 that is just absolutely.
Do you want
epic.
something crazy? Do you want to know something about the exhaust for the F40? They actually made all the exhaust. Whenever they fire it together, and they actually match each exhaust to that
The
firing.
pulses to the
Yeah, so that gives you that distinct sound to it.
Yeah, and it's just that's an engineering that was done so long before we had computers and algorithms and AI to help us figure it out, where they had to sit there and do it by hand and by ear every step of the way. And
that
it's just
car came out.
it's bespoke.
Like
It's just
89, I think it was, like 89, 90. I remember like.
it was
how long
late
ago
'80s,
now.
early '90s, whatever it was. Because
You
I
guys
used
can
to always
probably
tell you,
look it
like,
up and see it.
Testarossa. I always wanted a '92 512 TR Testarossa, but
Yeah.
there's just something, and that's in terms of financially reasonable, sure, but yeah, in terms of-
1987.
yeah, unreasonable
Okay.
financial.
Okay.
F40 all the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with two cars. So one of them is a Japanese muscle car, and Craft Sports. I'm probably gonna get in contact with them because they have probably by far one of the cleanest right-hand drive cars inventory that I've actually seen. They actually have an R34 GTR. Shout out to them because
Yeah, they source some really
they have
clean
some
shit.
stupid clean cars.
It helps that they have a full blown company in Japan. They're not like somebody with an importer
Yes.
over there. They have
Yes.
a full blown race team and company over there.
Yes, they
But-
they do actually have like a backing from somebody in Japan, actually a dealership.
It's them.
and
They
it's-
race R30. They race the R30 or
Is
the
it-
GTR series over there.
Is
Their
it Craft
cars.
Sports?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
okay, yeah. But my and here's the reason why I'm saying two. So and it's because you have a right-hand drive car. You have a right-hand drive car. My right-hand drive car,
His runs.
dream car. Huh?
Wow.
Somewhat.
Okay. Mine starts questionably right now. I'm getting there, but
Okay.
anyway.
Main point is, do you guys have a right-hand drive car? So my dream right-hand drive car is a Mazda RX-7.
Okay.
I mean,
They have
FD.
them-
So an FD.
Yes, an FD.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
they
right.
have them here in the United States, but I do want to have a right-hand drive one, just because the fact that, and this is funny, I drove his car from Atlanta. Did you know that? Or he probably.
Yeah,
told
yeah,
me.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
Okay.
remember.
There's only one person I trusted to do that.
Yeah, and
to fly up there.
And before that, my buddy Edwin that lives in Orlando, which you have to meet him. He's fucking awesome as shit.
He's a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you did meet him. Real nice guy, fucking guy. He let me drive his 180SX and his Savor,
Okay.
and they're both manual. So I got used to driving right-hand drive already before I drove his Savor down from Atlanta. So I want a right-hand drive RX-7, but it has to be yellow.
Okay. Yellow.
They
The
have-
old school FD
Yes.
yellow,
And
just
if
like the
you've-
initial D.
If you ever had
Yes.
discussions with me, you will know how much I hate yellow, and that's one of the few cars that I would own in yellow.
Yes.
Like one of the very, very
I was gonna ask you
few.
what color. If it was, I
It would
figured
be
maybe it
yellow.
would be like red, which is the typical color.
No. I would
But-
not do red. But-
Yellow, I was not
but
expecting that.
They already had my dream car and they sold it, and I saw it in person, and it was a fully Mazda speed spec'd out FD.
Damn.
They had it and they sold it. I want to say back in 2020 they actually had one, and they had it on like on inventory and they sold it. So and I'll post a picture of it here. Gorgeous. So I would have one of those. It's beautiful. I'll show you because it's actually on my phone. So that would be my right-hand drive dream car. In regards to an actual dream car, in regards to Nick's point, right now.
Unobtainable, basically.
Unobtainable at the moment, unless you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And subscribe to the OnlyFans.
Yes.
Hey,
which is coming soon.
That's down low.
Yeah,
It's on the down low.
Patreon. That's what we're going for.
I want 5%.
Okay.
Is
You're
going
in it,
to
I thought. Aren't you on it?
What?
No comment.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not OnlyFans. It's Fee Finder.
Ew.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I'm the
The
manager.
hell?
Anyways,
we're
So
getting
weird. People are so weird.
I'm kind of with you on the car that you said would be like a dream car of yours, which would be the GT3 RS. But I would go crazy with the, what is it called? That carbon fiber package, the Wise something.
Oh, you're thinking of the.
You can get a GT3 RS, but there's like an aero package you can get with it.
Are you thinking of the Manthey Racing setup, the MR?
No. There's like
There's a Weiss something, WEISS. I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Weiss something or what.
Yeah.
whatnot.
So, and obviously what we were talking about, it would be in Porsche.
That Manthey
Porsche
Racing.
Yes, Porsche Racing Green. I would have one of those. So, because
Wait, touring or not?
no, I would get a
Okay.
GT3 RS, non-touring.
Oh, you see the RS. Okay.
I
Yeah.
want the big ass wing.
I know. Because we played around. We were playing with the touring. But...
Don't get me wrong.
I just want a full blown race car.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
All right.
to drive on the street.
Bought, not
street.
built.
So
with me.
I already have my share of bought not built, so I'm
Eric-
gonna buy it now.
So Eric got that out, and I just have to ask this. And we've been kind of running on here, but this is kind of a local news thing, car related. Do you guys follow Josh Nam or Nam? Or
Yeah, he got
Oh,
one.
he's got the
He
Yep.
just got the GT2 RS,
2RS.
Yeah.
and it was a Michael Jordan order that I guess he passed on apparently or something like
Yep.
that. And he was able to, he got the call to scoop it up. So now he has the GT3 RS, and he's got the blue and black GT2 RS in the garage. He got rid of the RS6 for the GT2,
Wait,
which
hold
kills me a little bit because
This
I
morning,
love
yeah,
the
he posted about it.
He
yesterday.
kept, he kept the
No, he has
fucking Rivian
I
and
know,
got rid of the
he did.
RS6.
Rivian.
Like, come
Jesus
on, dude.
Christ.
yeah. Well,
But good for
I-
him, dude. He grew from falling on hard times and grew back up
Dude,
to
it's-
this, and it's
hey,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on you,
like,
bro.
it's
You did
insane.
good.
It's insane.
Because
Like,
I've been knowing him.
what he's done.
I know him for a long time.
Yeah.
Josh Nam.
Yeah, what he's created with Import Image Racing now,
Yes.
after hitting kind of rock bottom and coming back, is insane.
His
Like-
personality, dude, is what makes it.
So
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
Josh Nam is awesome.
Okay, so I want to say thank you to him because if it wasn't for him, all of my parts that I accumulated when I was drifting was because of Import Image.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
That's
that's who
crazy.
helped me
Okay,
source
hold
the
on.
BC Racing with the spindles for the Cedric and get me the wheels and everything and for the
And
Hold
got
on.
me Neo Max Silvers
Yeah.
for the 8.6 with
Yeah.
spindles already
Everything for the
attached.
A6 we got for her too,
And the
her,
GR
and
wheels.
and
Yep.
the GR wheels as well.
TE, oh, not TEs. Wow.
yeah, those guys are
57
coming
CRs.
That's really interesting to hear that the fact that Import Image Racing supplied those car parts for you because you were sponsored by a different shop.
Well, the shop sponsored me, and the way they sponsored me was they let me use their shop to do all my maintenance,
Okay.
and they pay for my entry.
Yes.
That was the sponsorship that I had with them, and the contract I had with them was that they won't give me no parts. It was just pretty much you can use the bay whenever you want. You could be here at any time you want.
Yeah.
Because I was there at freaking right after work till like 3 o'clock in the morning, building
Yeah.
the cage, getting everything ready, getting ready for FD and all that stuff, and never questioned an eye what I was doing in their shop.
Yeah.
Let me use their tools, their plasma cut, everything. So, Import Image, they helped me with, the parts and everything. Gave me great prices, great customer service. Like Josh was on point at that moment. Johan used to work there. Okay,
At
And
Import Image?
Import Image.
Okay.
He was their shipping receiving guy.
Yeah.
There were some other people there. They were local. They worked there for him as well, and they were awesome people. Now, of course, Josh and Import Image have other people they're new, but shout out to them. Even their new guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he was just there recently. He
Yeah, I
had
was dealing
great
with
experience
Dane.
there.
I think Dane Young
Yeah,
was one of their sales guys.
Dane
He
Young
was
helped
great.
us all out.
He was super helpful.
Yeah. When I had my BRZ, I don't know if you saw it. It was like World Rally Blue BRZ slammed to the fucking ground because I had BC Racing Cold Race thanks to what was the guy's name?
I don't know. We
He
knew it
working-
was slammed because you wore through your flex
Oil pan?
piping and the flex piping in one of his exhaust parts.
So we're not gonna talk about that right now. But there was a guy guy that actually now is the main operating guy for Drift HQ. Shit, I forgot his name, and I feel horrible forgetting names. Again, I'm horrible with names.
It's terrible.
But he helped me out. Like, he ordered my coilovers. I was actually working for O'Brien, actually, when I ordered the coilovers.
I remember you worked for O'Brien.
Yeah. It was their old... Again, he works for Drift HQ now. But... Shit,
Oh, Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Chris Wilson Walker, something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I
Chris
love
Wilson
you.
Walker, the country music star. Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like,
Lord, I'm
Not that one.
I'm gonna do this real quick. He's gonna kill me.
Googling.
Another Chris, but yeah, no.
Yeah, Chris was awesome. He was the
yeah.
photographer and everything.
Well, yeah. So he was in sales, and it was so he helped me out get my BC Racing coilovers, and thanks to him, I'm a huge advocate for BC Racing, by the way. And actually,
Yeah, you are.
I've been telling him since the G70. I'm like, yo, get in contact with BC. He's like, oh well, they don't have coilovers. Get in contact with BC. He's like, well, I'm gonna get the Cedric now, and I need coilovers. And I'm like, get in contact with BC. So like, I'm a huge advocate for BC. I had them on my BRZ, and I have their coilovers now on my BRS. Or wow,
your vet.
my
Wow,
vets.
that was. Oof.
Listen, I've had.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to flag you at this point, buddy.
Yeah, I need some water. Anyways, so
Water.
He's saying he needs some water.
Waters for the week.
All right,
He needs
Mom
some
is
milk.
gonna get that.
I need some milk. Yeah, so I need to rehydrate. So my BRZ and my Corvette both had BC Racing coilovers, and I fucking love them. Which, thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like
Which,
the water?
if
Thank
you
you.
have not driven
You
a
want a water
car
bag?
I'm good.
with BC Racing coilovers, I would let you guys drive my Corvette. It is fucking awesome. I love that suspension. But yeah,
Mine are sitting in my
Thanks.
foyer right now.
Wait, I have
Thanks.
BC right now on the GTR.
oh, do you?
I know
Yeah.
I know the AE's going
BC is
BC.
the equivalent of Neomaxes or the Silvers, right?
That,
Same company.
They're about no,
Yeah,
different
no,
company.
no,
No, different
That's
company.
Fortune.
No,
Fortune.
no.
is-
Silver
Silver's
is
is
Fortune.
Fortune.
BC is their own
Oh
company.
wait. So Fortune Auto is now silver.
No, they
No.
build silvers.
Silver makes Fortune Auto makes silvers.
Yeah. I was gonna
And
get
BC is
silvers for the
around.
Mustang or for the
So-
Miata, and I was gonna get silvers for the Cedric, but Silvers stopped making the coilovers with the spindle. So my
Yes.
options then came down to BC Racing or Megan. Going BC all day long.
Yeah, go BC. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
so that was it. But
I mean,
That's crazy, 'cause I
I
do
wanted
everyone.
the silvers though. That's what I was shooting
if
for.
you want to
but-
shoot for gold, get BCs.
or go Owens
Listen,
and just get them.
I think you're looking for.
Okay, I'm not lie to you. Suspension wise, depending on what kind of motorsport you're going for, road racing, KWs.
I don't disagree
I've
with you.
looked into those for the Porsche, the 944.
Any kind of road racing, KWs, all the way, they're fucking phenomenal. Drifting, I did Power by Max. I did
Porsche
BC
Max.
Racing. Yep. Or Power by Max is what it was before, but now it's
now it's partial.
hard set, whatever. I did Power by Max. I did BC Racing. I did Fortune Autos.
Okay.
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 I went back to Power by Max. For some reason, I like Power by Max.
Okay.
Their modularity that you could be able to like switch parts here and there, and they were cheap and they were awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I hit a fucking wall at like 90 miles an hour. I bent a fucking
Controller.
That's crazy.
No, not
You
controller.
You should try not doing that though. Technically.
So
But
what happened was
competitive
what happened. Okay, look.
What happened was when you're competitive drifting.
I will say this. I will say this though. You know how I said I'm a freestyle kind of person.
Yes.
When I got to competition, it pushed me to a different level.
Okay.
It made me push that car so much harder than what it was made for.
Okay.
That's when parts started breaking left and right.
Okay. I can
Because
see
when I was doing just events for like just any drift event, just like for freestyle, I never broke anything. Nothing ever broke.
that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But the moment I got into professional like drifting and actually pushing the car harder and harder and harder,
Balls to the wall, kind of.
I started having tie rod problems. I started having steering rack problems, leaking, power steering pumps burning out.
Okay.
I even had a freeze plug popped out in my engine
Oh wow.
during mid drift, almost making
That
me
much
hit
pressure
the
built
wall.
up?
Yeah,
I can, but you know what though? Like I can see it because when it comes to competitive drifting, you have you're pretty much so. Your
running
level
hard.
of skill, you're pretty much driving on that line the whole time, and then you're having to exceed that because it's competitive drifting. So you're either leading somebody or you're chasing somebody.
Exactly.
So I can see that. And actually, we kind of overlooked something really quickly. So he asked you if you would get into drifting again.
Oh, that's right.
And I said that you and I have had this conversation.
That's right.
And the conversation ended
We
up
brought
being,
it back.
Yeah, we're going back like an hour back into the conversation.
Oh shit! How long we been here?
Which is totally fine. 2 hours now, which is
Damn.
I'm
we
kind of
we
okay.
have to split
We
this
got
one
a
kinda
lot to
separate,
say.
double
We're
post,
we're,
but-
we're probably
It's gonna be a
have
part 1 and a part
Yeah.
12.
Yes, it's gonna be part 1 and part 2. Yes, which is that our conversation was that yes, you would get into drifting again because you
Okay.
haven't drifted in how long?
What, 10 years now? What's it been?
No, it's probably no. It's been less than that. But like your last year, like in Pro Am was like what 2016, 2017, right?
I think it was 2016, 2017 around there. Because that's when I started working for Toyota.
So it's like 8 years.
Yes.
Yeah, 8 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I started working for Toyota, and I actually like got a real job.
Yes.
Big
So.
boy job.
But okay,
Sold your soul
Yeah.
to the auto industry.
hey, best job I ever fucking had. I'm just joking. I don't know.
Shout out to Toyota. They're gonna be tagged all
Sponsor
over this, by the
me.
way.
There you go, sponsor her.
Yeah.
So if I ever get back to the drifting, yes, I would, but it won't be for competition.
Yeah.
It will be go back to my roots. It will be freestyle,
yeah.
getting the crowd going,
Yeah.
getting to see everyone's like small faces. Now,
So you wouldn't do the tandem stuff. You wouldn't do.
no. I will
you
do
can-
that. I will do
Okay,
tandem. I will
okay.
do tandem. But the problem is this: from what it was before to what it is now, is like everyone wants you to bang, like wall bang your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reckless.
Well, they still do, to be honest.
Yeah, and they do. No, I'm talking about like now. They want you to wall bang your car
Yeah.
to a point where you're demolishing your car. Now, okay, it's not their fucking car. No,
Yeah.
they're not putting their
Well,
hard work
yeah.
into it.
Right.
Now, I would like to get close to the wall
Yes.
or anything like that, but I like to keep my car nice and clean. So if I ever get back into drifting, it will be just freestyle and just enjoying, the sport and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Competition was very political for me. Being a newcomer coming to a event where there was already like pros that'd been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
and somehow, some way, my skills were enough to be able to keep up with these pro people
Yeah.
that's been doing this for a very long time. They didn't like that very much. Okay, it fell down to who you knew and how long you knew them
Yeah.
for. Because if there's videos out there that you can watch of me drifting with competitions, and you can see where I know for a fact I won, and they will give the other people the win.
Yeah.
And people will like literally people I didn't even know will like go against the judge and be like, "What are you doing? He clearly won." And me being new to the event, I was like, "Just leave it, let it be. I don't want to cause any problems," you know. People were fighting for me. I didn't even know these people.
Yeah.
And they were fighting for me, and it became so political that after doing one event, I got a sour taste in my mouth about it. And we talked about this. Remember, I told you that I stopped.
We did, yeah.
I stopped looking into drifting. I did 3 events, 3 seasons. The 3rd season, I was enough because it's like I went on top. I went against number 1 qualifier, had the most points, and I kicked him out. He dropped 2 tires, 0 points. I made it clearly. I won. They gave him the win. So
Yeah.
after that day, I was like, I'm done with drifting. And a lot of drifters, if you talk to them, that actually the competition that dropped off is because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
sucks.
it's unfortunate that you're saying that because like there have been a lot of big names in drifting that are not in competition drifting, but they're still around. One person in specific is Michael Essa.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a video that actually came out recently with a Michael Essa against the same organization that you were drifting with, and he's had their things to say about it. And even to this day, like we were watching last week's competition in Long Beach.
I was doing the best I could, but yeah, I caught a lot of it actually.
Yeah, and there was a couple of things that I saw, and I was just like, I mean, I'm not a fan of this call, and like the calls that they made. Me knowing about drifting, and granted, like I'm not a drifter, he is, but if you and I saw the same competition, like the same rounds, you and I are probably gonna have the same views in regards to into the calls that the judges are saying that, okay, we chose this person, but you and I are gonna say like, damn, this person should have gone to the next round or to next from top 32 to top 16. there's been a lot of speculations that have come out around this organization, but you know what? There have been some people that have been big name into drifting. Like one of them is Pat Gooding. Did you ever meet Pat Gooding?
Yeah.
You actually drove with him before, probably. Yeah. He said, and Taylor Ray is another one, which you probably drove with him.
Taylor Ray, I know Taylor Ray before he even became his YouTube channel and everything.
You probably drove with him at CFRC when he had, his 944?
No, he has his freaking Miata.
No, he doesn't drive that anymore.
I know, but that's how I knew him. His Miata.
That fucking Miata is badass, by the way.
Wait, somebody had a 944 drift car?
Taylor Ray used to have one.
Yeah, and then he had the A6 too.
So he sold the 8.6 recently.
I think he sold it to Chelsea Denova, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're talking about a different one. So this is probably way back in the day.
Okay, so I've been knowing Taylor for a long time, like CFRC, like before it even closed.
Okay, so Taylor Ray has talked about wanting to start his own podcast, but I want to have him on ours. So if you know him, reach out to him.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
Because Taylor Ray, like honestly, like out of any YouTube channel, his is my favorite. Like I fucking love seeing him working on his bus. Like have you seen his channel recently?
No, I have not seen.
So he has like a freaking bus now.
Oh God.
That's an actual like car hauler.
He's making like a school bus.
No, it's like an RV bus.
Oh really?
Yeah, this thing is badass.
Is he putting like the car inside the RV?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's making the back drop and
It's
then
like one of those like toy hauler kind of setups.
He bought it already like that. So he's been making improvements on it.
Gotcha.
And Taylor, like I love watching his content, and I've actually seen him driving in person at OSW, which we need to go, by the way.
Oh, I told you, man. Next time there's a major event there, I'm good. Like I would love to like, this season of FD. I'd love to try and get up there.
So, FD is going to be in May, which I think is the same weekend you and I have a trip.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to go like a different day, but like we can probably go up in. So the next big event is in November, which is before Thanksgiving, which is the Black Friday event.
Yeah.
He has driven there on that event, but seeing Taylor driving in person, I love his drifting because his style of drifting, because he's the type of person that he loves freestyle drifting just like you, and just like you just want to improve to be a better drifter. To just hype up the crowd. Granted, like he has this crazy build ass like competition C6 drift car, which him and thanks to Chris Crane as well is the influence that I have to buy my Corvette. But I want to be able to like actually have a conversation with him, like, and I want to talk to him, and like I've obviously like when he's like in the like these events, like he's not talking to anybody because he just wants to just like
be in the zone.
He's in the zone. It's
the same way. I get what you're saying because
Yeah.
I was the same way. People will talk to me and people will think I'm a dick, but I'm just trying to focus on what I was doing.
Yeah, and I've heard of somebody saying the same thing about Adam LZ, which I don't know if you've ever driven with him.
I've never. Yeah.
Okay, so and I've heard somebody saying that Adam LZ is like, Adam LZ is like he's kind of a dick and whatever, but like if you think about it, he's really not. Because like Edwin was actually at his compound recently.
Yeah. You were saying
for
that, yeah.
March 7th. So March 7th, which is 37, it's TE 37 day. Okay. It's not really announced, but it is kind of TE 37 day. So
for next year, you need to get that GTR up there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you do. So my buddy Edwin has like stupid amount of freaking TE 37. So he actually took a Safiro there, and when he was telling me that he had his experience with Adam LZ is like awesome.
Yeah, it's different when you're in the track and you're concentrating on your,
exactly.
On your, It's a competition. You gotta be focused. You can't be.
Yeah, it's two different environments.
Exactly.
So you can't judge one person from one environment to another because like when obviously Adam LZ in his compound, it's his home, so he's a lot more chill. He's a lot more relaxed, especially when he's organizing and he's asking people to show up to his compound. It's a lot different versus when you're drifting. Like you have to focus on like, I have to focus on my driving and I have to focus on my car.
Exactly.
So, anyways, shit, I've been ranting for like a fucking while.
It's all right, bro.
We have these habits.
It's all right. That's what happens when you start drinking.
Somebody else is gonna start talking now.
This is what happens when you start drinking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, all right. I'm gonna take over this podcast.
Go ahead.
Oh boy, here we go.
Go ahead. You know what? I'm game. Go ahead and take over.
So we heard about your favorite car. Your favorite car as well.
Yes.
What's your favorite anime? And yours too.
Ooh. Okay.
Since you brought it to us,
I'm
okay.
I'm
so
gonna go car related. I'm gonna let him go first.
I might need a moment.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm a huge Initial D fan. I've mentioned it before because you and I spoke at Sebring last year, and you kind of told me your story with like your dad and being like into Toyota and everything, and I was like, yeah, like I'm a huge Initial D fan, blah blah blah. You were an Initial D fan, but that's not the reasoning for your passion for Toyota. But I'm a huge fan of Initial D, but my favorite anime, believe it or not, is Wangan Midnight.
Really?
Wow,
Oh
okay.
man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
freaking
old school
good
too.
one.
It's a great anime, and the reason for it is because, like, granted, Initial D, like they have the FC, the FD, the AE86. They also have the R32 Skyline,
S13.
the S13, the Seafoam Green S13,
SX.
the 180SX, the Still 80. So they have all these iconic
Universal.
cars, but Wangan Midnight actually kind of introduces a different culture of Japanese racing that people really don't realize actually exists, which is the Wangan. And people fucking there's these videos, and I don't know if this is true or not, but like the shop that sponsored you, he said that he drove at a very high speed at the Wangan. I don't know.
He did.
Okay.
He
so,
did.
So that's a true story.
It is a true story because I did see pictures and videos of him doing it. Believe it or not, we do a lot of shit.
The whole but like the
Love you,
whole
bro.
like Rainbow Bridge thing, like it fascinates me. But like the crazy thing is that this anime is based off around an older 86 911 Porsche Turbo. Was it
Who?
the 911 Porsche Turbo? I think it was, right?
The Blackwing?
The black one.
Yeah.
A Blackbird.
It really
Yeah,
sounds like I'm building a 911 or a 944 drift car in the future. I don't know. I thought I was building a track and street car, and now apparently I'm building a drift car.
We're
sorry.
just gonna black wall.
Just don't build a drift car. Just
We're
don't.
gonna
Just
shun
don't.
And it's
Nick right
black.
now.
It's black already. I'm just.
We're gonna
saying.
shun Nick right now. No, this is actually like
It's in my garage.
This is a mountain. It's pretty much a highway car.
yeah, it's a
So
drag
they're meant to be like full blown like road cars
throttle.
on the highway.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But-
my goal for mine is put a big
but-
turbo 5-cylinder in it. And
No.
fucking Rip.
Like these cars are rolling at like 120 miles an hour to like 180 plus.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that terminology they use nowadays, that white lining, it's called,
Yeah.
where these young ass kids, I hate it, I'm sorry, they like go in and out of traffic, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Japanese people kind of do the same thing back in the day. They kind of like all go together and like
Yeah.
going in and out. So that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, it was.
okay.
And
I mean, dangerous, but
yeah, it
not like
was.
what you see nowadays.
dangerous
Well, yeah.
criminal speeds
Yeah.
and crazy as shit. Blackbird and the blue 280 ZX
240?
Datsun. Huh?
I thought it was a 240 ZX.
Okay, you could be right. It could have actually been a 240. They actually existed. They were real cars.
It was based on a true story.
It was based off a true story. Yeah, there was a rivalry between these two cars, but there's like a whole background that they actually race like other cars, like in between of them actually racing each other. So that was my favorite anime because like it showed a side of Japanese racing culture that people really didn't realize existed. And like even to this day, like people really don't realize that this culture still goes on.
Right.
There's a video that came out recently, which I have to hunt it down and post it. But there was a R34 Skyline doing, I think I sent it to you, doing 247 kilometers an hour. That's like 320 miles per
That's
hour.
crazy.
No, other way around.
No,
300
way
some
around.
kilometers per hour is 2 something.
No,
miles per
it
hour.
was
Kilometers are higher than the miles per hour.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So I think you,
But
I think
it
you just
was-
reversed them.
But it was like, what was it? It was like, how many kilometers?
I
an
think
hour?
So
it was like
180
320,
kilometers is
It
like
was something
fucking
stupid.
shit ton, like
It was
320
something
kilometers per
stupid.
hour or
It
some
was
shit.
something stupid. The dude was going stupid fast. He was going well over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy
Some
shit.
Autobahn shit.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Damn.
in a Japanese highway, by the way. And Japanese highways are not straight highways. They
have
curves.
waves. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Mountain
curves.
problems.
No, this
No,
is
these
in
are the
Tokyo.
main city highway.
This is
Oh,
in Tokyo.
so around the
Yeah,
city.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chaos
So,
around there, man.
So that's my favorite anime car show, of course, Top Gear, because Top Gear shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Nick?
We have already. I gotta fall back to what we've already mentioned is probably my favorite. So, although yes, I just started a tattoo, kind of Demon Slayer based. The tattoo primarily is about Japanese food. I got ramen, onigiri, and sushi on my calf, but it
good.
has Rengoku on it,
I'm hungry.
sitting in the ramen
Yeah.
from Demon Slayer. So currently, Demon Slayer is popular in my household. My daughter likes watching it, and she's into it, and my wife really is into it, which was one of the first animes I got her into. But just from watching it since I was a kid, up through modern, and they're still working on it. Like I gotta fall back to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
Like that's I've pretty much dedicated my entire left calf to a massive Goku tattoo. Like that is the one anime that has stuck with me from childhood through adulthood. And I say that, but at a minimum, at some point, I'm gonna have like a 4-star Dragon Ball tattoo or something. Like that's the one that has just absolutely stuck with me, just through and through. And there's so many greats from the same era. And the problem is, like again, like I have a Crunchyroll account, so I'm watching current simulcast shit that's brand new and. You know, from Demon Slayer to which I got my wife into. I've now got her into Jujutsu Kaisen.
so good.
I've now finished and caught up, but Free Ren is a great one that's been out. So there's so many that are currently ongoing that have great stories and stuff like that I've been watching. But
What's that one you like?
I almost always fall back
Mash?
to
Mashly?
Mashly or whatever, the Magic and Muscles.
Yeah,
it's on my list. I haven't started it yet.
Okay, so
God, he's obsessed with that
Yeah,
song.
I purposely added. I read the synopsis and I instantly added.
but
it,
listen,
I haven't
so
started it yet.
if you like Harry Potter,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
literally
I literally have a Harry Potter tattoo on my
there you
forearm,
go.
so.
So it's literally
Start watching
it's
it.
literally
Yeah.
Harry Potter mixed with one Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
One
yeah.
Punch Man.
Oh, that was another good one.
Okay.
I
That's-
enjoyed that as
that's-
well.
One Punch Man's another good.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. It's a magic world with a guy who is non-magic,
Gotcha.
but he's so
Okay.
fucking strong. He's like One Punch Man,
Yeah,
but Harry Potter version.
I like it. So
Okay.
so it's already on my watch list.
And then the
for
music is very
Crunchyroll.
catchy, by the way.
Funny that you mentioned that because it gets my wife. To this day, every time I show her a new anime, she'll be like, "The story's good, but the opening's not as good as Demon Slayer." And I'm like,
Oh
What is
man,
wrong with you?
nothing beats that.
So first season, it's like the music. The second season, when you get that they got this new DJ
Yeah.
who does a lot of music for on different types of anime, and he made this one beat that's so freaking catchy, and it's like storming like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the music aspect of it. My wife brings it up all the time too. The intros and the outros, like Jujutsu Kaisen. She's really pissed now because the new
It's
we're in
so
season
sad.
2 and the outro isn't
So
that jazzy
boring.
one where they're dancing.
Yep.
She's like,
Yeah.
"What did they do?" And Demon Slayer did the same thing. They had this opening and they changed it into like the 4th season. And she's like, "Why?" I literally that's what got me pumped up for the episode was watching that intro. She wouldn't let me skip it, you know. And I thinking about that, I go back to my Dragon Ball stuff, and I'm like, dude, when DBZ came out, it was like the metal intro, at least in the U.S. And then like they did a lot of like video overlays with like some old school Metallica that was always awesome. Broly's intro was a Slayer song, like legit full blown Slayer. It wasn't like somebody made it. It was a Slayer song, and one of my sales guys actually talks about it, like he knows the specific song. So it was like, I think that was kind of my start for it. It was like my love of rock and metal, and all of a sudden this anime, and it was like badass, these strong guys, and it was like a metal intro, metal outros,
Perfect
and like,
mesh.
yeah, it was like it blended and like hooked me early on, and that just kind of stuck with me through childhood into adulthood, and probably been my biggest influence in that anime world and everything like that. And it's sad to say that it's not car related, but like I didn't get into cars the way I was until I was in high school, which is crazy because I was my uncle's a Ford Master Tech. My dad was a GM of a dealership. I was surrounded by cars. My mom always had vets and shit like that. The owner of the dealership always had Ferraris I get to sit and play with. And something just clicked like somewhere late into high school. And I was like, man, I want to dive more into this shit. And it just kind of like took off on the car aspect, but which is weird. So I was like a late bloomer for cars. But yeah, man, the one thing that stuck with me all the way through cars, everything, life, what I like to watch was Dragon Ball. From the OG days back in the early 90s, like all the way through. Thanks to Toonami, really, at the end of the day, it was probably what kind of kicked that off. And now it's, I can get it anytime I want through Crunchyroll or Funimation.
Thank
It's
God.
just like,
So
Yeah.
awesome. I
I
used to
mean,
have to
even my
torrent
kids.
episodes.
I know torrent. Oh my god,
like
exactly the same.
Well, we even went to like a show, like one of the conventions here, and there was a guy that was selling all these old school toys, and my daughter Everly walks in and she's like, I want that, and it's like this like OG like 90s like Goku in like his like old like orange suit and all that. She's like, I want that. Like she knew right off the rip. She saw it. She's like, I want that. So I bought it for her, of course, and she still plays with it to this day. But yeah, no, it's like a ongoing theme in our household. Yeah. In some weird way. Even though my wife hasn't really watched or paid much attention to it, it's like, you know, my daughter loves it, and now she's getting into Demon Slayer and stuff and watching all that kind of stuff with us. And
I love her. She's so cute.
yeah, oh yeah, no, she's trouble.
She's gonna be trouble
call
when you grow up.
me in so many different ways. Cars,
she like
anime,
pops up on the podcast with you, and it's funny as hell because like he had
she'll
to
come
go
say
fix,
goodnight and stuff.
Yeah, well, like
Aww.
he had to go fix something for his wife one day. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
It was, like the faucet or
the
something.
faucet in the kids'
His
bathroom.
freaking daughter just ran up, and she was just like, she sat in his chair, just waved at us, and he just ran out, and I was just like, that's so Everly.
the other night I was getting ready to get on, and they were going to bed. She's like, okay, say goodnight to Mike and Eric for us too. It's like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, oh yeah, no, she's caring, yet she's kind of weirdly badass at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, she's gonna be trouble. She's gonna be my trouble one. In the sense of all the boys are going to be like, oh, here's a race car girl, and she's into this, and she's into that, and look at those blue eyes, and
Don't worry, she has.
she already told me.
3,
I know.
4 uncles.
Well, she's
aunt.
actually the worst one about the Porsche. Like she'll walk in the garage, she'll be like, you know, when I'm a little older, we'll build that together, right? And I'm like, oh god, yeah, I mean, yeah. So apparently, I have to build that car and keep it until she can legally drive, and at this point, she's basically claimed it as her car. Yeah. So the 944 someday will live, hopefully, and will be driven by my daughter when she can legally drive. But
so to your point, Danny, you're saying you're gonna pull up Bad Boys 2 on some motherfucker.
I've always wanted
fuck
to.
Around and find out.
I'll be walking in like, hey Reggie, that's your name, Reggie.
Always want to do something like that. Me and Mike have talked about it all the time when we both had daughters. It was like, oh, that's it, it's over.
Just touch it up.
You both have daughters, so I feel like it's gonna be like a Avery and an Everly thing, which Avery is Mike's daughter. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to pull that a couple times. But you know what? I'm kind of okay with.
All I want
but
is none of these.
The question is, which one of your firearms are you gonna pull out? I'm gonna bring the AK, bro, or the AR.
I'm coming full battle rattle, just so you know.
He's gonna be out here with a full fucking
full nods, fucking.
I just want these little girls to not be impressed by some dusty ass kid's Honda Civic. It's my whole goal. Like, I just want it to be like.
He'll pop to your house.
I want to come home one day and be like, oh dad, I met this guy. You know, we're dating, and he's got like a twin turbo C7 Vet that he built. Like, oh, let's go. Let's meet this kid. Bring him on over. You know, let's throw his car on the lift that we have in the garage and check this thing out.
Hold on, wait. Let him meet Danny real quick. Hey, bring your 900 horsepower GTR real quick.
Yeah, but it's the dreams for the future. But I think my daughter's on board with those dreams, which is good. Good. But she likes the same anime. She's turned a little car chick. So is my son now with the cars. Which just means it's going to cost me more money. Of course, I am fully supportive of that goal and that dream, which is the problem.
So I have another question.
Shoot.
So I have a question about when you get your car. Okay. Whenever you get whatever car you get, right? You got a new car. What is the first mod you do?
Oh man, that's a really good question.
Well, Mike's not here, but I know what Mike's answer would be.
Mike is he's gonna be wheels.
Wheels all day long.
For sure, 100%. I don't know what the fuck it is with this dude. Mike, we love you, but God, there's something about him and having to swap out like stock wheels. Like in his Elantra, like I have his stock Elantra wheels. They're probably by far one of the most baller stock wheels that I've seen. For me, for instance, when it comes to modifications, I go for handling. So I do coilovers.
Okay.
So suspension modification, not just directed to coilovers themselves, but like engine or suspension modification. So coilovers, springs, end links, sway bars, name it. That's gonna be my.
So suspension wise.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I want to enjoy the car handling wise. That's me. Like I base cars off of their handling capabilities. The BRZ was great. The Corvette is even fucking better. So, coilovers for sure, or suspension modification for sure. It's for me.
So this one kind of depends on the vehicle to an extent.
Depending on what vehicle it is.
drivetrain more so. And the reason I say that is if it's factory forced induction, I'm probably going to go with the tune because there's so much left there.
And we're talking about newer cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I got my Explorer. One of the first things I did was get set with a tuner. Right, you know, factory twin turbo. Like there was a shit ton to pull out of that thing. Right, and once speaking to him, then it became okay. Yeah, you need intercooler and downpipes. Nothing else matters. And of course, I went loud ass exhaust on top of it, all that shit. Yeah. But like my G70, although I did have the piggyback tuner on it and stuff like that, for me it was all about the handling and the stance. First things really for that car was some small spacers to bring it super flush. I hate the poke, I hate sinking in, and the coilovers. So for me, it truly did car and purpose. Like the G70 for me was my autocross car and my daily. So it was instant. We jumped to coilovers and we did spacers to bring it flush. That was more of an aesthetic thing, but it was at the same time. And then the piggyback and an intake, right? I didn't do anything crazy with that. Or something with that factory force induction with a lot of potential. I'm looking for a tune right off the rip. My A6, APR right off the rip. Like the first thing I could do.
So pretty much like older vehicles, you do suspension wise, like he did.
Yeah, for me,
anything
it
newer.
comes to the purpose of the car, right?
Yeah,
like my Explorer is not an autocross car. It's not a track car. I mean, I've lowered it and shit, but I went for extra power. How did I get this thing from 400 to the 550 it's sitting at now? And the next steps, I'm not willing to spend the money because I got a replacement already on order. But yeah, for something like that I'm gonna potentially track, I'm going handling right off the rip. It's going to be suspension and stance and getting that wide stance and that lowered suspension that I can control the center of gravity. Because for me, at the end of the day, and we talk about this all the time, we've mentioned this, like when we go to Savor, we watch these guys driving cars, who's having the most fun? I still to this day say it's the guys driving the Miatas.
Yep.
Yeah.
The lowest power cars with the best suspension and grip setups, just having a fucking blast.
It's like a go-kart.
And I live for that. Exactly. And my G70, when I was done with it, felt like a go-kart with sticky-ass tires and the suspension, the coilovers on it. The JB4 was great, you know, and having the manual was great, but, like, getting it to grip and turn and do what I wanted when I told it to do so was everything.
You know what's funny? You said that. It's funny you said suspension.
Yeah.
You said suspension to your older vehicles.
Yeah.
Newer vehicles, tune.
Newer
Pretty much, because newer vehicles, all the suspension is good, nice and tight.
And they're almost all forced induction from factory now.
Same thing went with me. I got the R3 too.
Yeah.
Even the 240 and everything. First thing I did was buy a energy suspension bushing kit.
Yeah.
Or full solid mounts, depending what it was. And it was all suspension.
Yeah.
Shocks, coilovers, sway bar links, bushing, everything had to be super tight was the first thing. And guess what we did to her 8.6? Same exact thing, suspension.
Well,
coilovers.
Yeah.
Got rid of those 26-year-old freaking dry rotted bushings. Got rid of them all. New tie rods, new sway bar links, like the whole works.
When even my Cedric factory forced induction with a V6 turbo, but the first thing that arrived was the intake just for some more sounds. But the first major purchase was wider, stickier tires, and a full set of BC Racing coilovers. That was the very first. I haven't installed the coilovers because I haven't chased down this fucking misfire yet. But
wait,
that was the very first thing.
Yet?
They're sitting in my foyer.
Oh, okay.
So is an entire 75-foot
So why don't you put them on?
film for my color change wrap. It's all sitting in my foyer.
To Danny's point,
No, you can just
Drive it, even get it. I can't even drive it and get it.
What is it? It's a V6, right?
Alignment. Yeah.
You have 5 extra cylinders.
Well, it doesn't, it's decided it doesn't want to start without giving it gas.
Just remove the spark. Just remove the spark plug.
That's true.
And disconnect the.
Yeah, no. Since you and I have talked, I've ran through so much stuff. I've moved injectors after having them clean and flow tested. I've moved coil packs, and it's still the same dead cylinder.
It's crazy.
So I've now the new MAF.
I'm telling you,
the new
it's
MAF
electrical.
is in, and I haven't tried to start it since the new MAF was in because I also ordered a cam position sensor, which turned out it was for a different Nissan engine. So the angle of the plug's wrong. So I already reordered the new one. It'll be here on Monday. Those are the two things that could give me, specifically the cam position sensor could give me an issue in a single cylinder because it could be reading something wrong. Okay. So I've replaced that. After that, if it doesn't start right up and run without a misfire, I'm probably finding the shop to take it to because now it's electric and I'm almost at this point guaranteed it's something with that injector somewhere in the wiring harness because I already know the injectors are good. I already know the coil packs are good and I know everything else is good. So I've narrowed it down.
When we were testing it, it was not the coil pack, was actually an injector.
Well, we weren't sure because we figured out you pulled that coil pack on that one cylinder, and that's the only one that didn't stumble extra.
Exactly.
Didn't change anything.
Okay.
So I've moved all the coil packs around, different cylinders. I took all the injectors out, sent them to, was it Wilfredo?
Yeah, Wilfredo.
I sent them to Wilfredo Torres, or I dropped them off there. He cleaned them all, flow tested them all back to factory specs. I put them all back in to different cylinders, and that's that same dead cylinder. Now, if I gas it while I try to start it, it'll start and it'll run smooth about 3,000 RPMs, but as soon as it drops down, it starts to stumble again. So I'm coming down to a point where it could be as simple as a fuel filter, but I would imagine it would.
I don't think it's a fuel filter because
I think it's something the wiring harness for.
It
that
has to
cylinder.
be wiring because it was a fuel filter. It will affect every
so
single.
the last thing going is the map. The new map's already installed. I installed it last night. The new cam shaft position sensor will be here on Monday. I'll install that Monday or Tuesday. Give it another try. If it's having a problem, then I'm gonna find the shop and tow it there and just say, please find the electrical problem someplace. Because as soon as that's done, it's getting coils.
I mean, I can already tell you right now, it's definitely.
That's where I'm pretty much at. But for less than
I think I already told you that from the beginning.
For less than $100, I had to try those two things that could throw some shit off. Just get them new anyway, so I know they're done, and then I'll move on from there. But
have you talked about your Cedric, right?
Yeah, that comes up.
Yeah,
almost
he's
every
talked about it
episode.
a lot.
Okay. It's a VIP car. It's pretty dope.
VIP cars are fucking
It just has a
awesome.
lot of gap. It needs to come.
Man, you see, like
The solution is sitting in my foyer right now.
Let's put it on. Doesn't matter if it doesn't drive. We can just
So-
put that on. Get it out of the way.
So Eric has my
I miss
old,
driving it.
VIP car, which is my GS300, which I wanted to do like a VIP drift build, or John Eric,
Yeah, John Eric.
and he moved to North Carolina.
Oh, he did? He's not here no more?
Yeah, he's not here anymore. Yeah, he's in Charlotte now. Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina. So he has my GS300, and he had to put a new 2JZ in it because I guess mine was the cats were clogged. I think he said. I didn't know that. So the motor got fucked up and it got damaged, so he had to swap it out. But like, I fucking miss driving that car, dude. Like,
Didn't you? I'm sorry. What?
no, go ahead.
I was saying, didn't you have a GS300?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
hell yeah! GS owners.
GS gang.
Dude, those
Man,
GSs,
I miss the crap out of
fucking-
it.
She wants one again, too.
dude, I want another one. I really,
They're
really want
so
another
fun,
one.
so
Why?
comfortable, luxurious. Like you wouldn't believe it.
I mean,
It's
I
aged well.
I drove mine like literally a handful of times, and the time that I drove it, I was like, I fucking love this thing a hell of a lot more than my daily driver. Because it was a lot more comfortable. It was
Yep.
very responsive, like even
Yeah.
for it being like an NA2J.
Hit the gas, you're gone.
Exactly.
It's like 300, right?
No, it's a lot less than that because it's like
260.
Yeah,
Yeah, 260.
But like, and mine like had the cats are clogged, so like it didn't drive right. And John Eric unfortunately had to kind of chase that rat's tail and found it. But it was a great car,
Such a
dude.
good
like,
car.
And honestly, like I've seen like people importing Aristos, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want one
So
because it's right-hand drive
good.
and it's an
Yeah.
automatic.
That's
And
the
it comes with a
true.
2J.
Yeah.
and it comes with a turbo 2JZ.
Mine was not turbo, but it was
well,
a
mine
2J.
wasn't either.
Yeah.
mine
I don't think they
wasn't
come US based.
either.
They do. Or no.
yeah,
I
the
think
US
it's the
US.
Aristo
Yeah, they don't
for the
come,
turbo, I
Yeah,
think.
so US based, it came. If it was a GS300, it was a 2JZ. If it was a GS400, it was a 1UZ.
One
I mean,
UZ,
it was a
yeah.
2J,
One
but it was a
UZ FE.
non-turbo 2J.
Yeah.
Right.
Which sucks because those motors, those blocks cannot hold that power
They're
if you turbo them.
They're fucking.
You
tanks,
you
dude.
should have seen the one I had, man. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
mine was gold.
It was a single owner. I was
Old
the
man
second
tan,
owner.
sir. It's old man tan in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was babied. Like everything
Mine
was
was not.
replaced, like brand new, pristine parts. It
Oh,
was
okay.
ran like a dream. But then an old lady fell asleep at the light and T-boned me and spun me around.
Oh shit.
So that
She got
went
video
away.
of that too, by the way.
Yep.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
I think she has video of every accident she's been in.
People just, I don't know.
Oh,
man.
so speaking about your XSE, way early into the podcast, that thing got rear-ended hard.
Bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it messed me up pretty bad. It was
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, and it's still paying for it physically and mentally till
Yeah.
this day. But I mean,
But you have a Marizo.
Talking about the bright side though.
But you have a Marizo now.
I know they did a great job repairing that car.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as it did, I sold it. I was like, I don't want anything to do with it. So
Yeah.
But talk about like how much you paid for it and what you got back.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I pretty much paid like nothing for the car,
Yeah.
as far as like insurance and
So
compensation. Yeah.
yeah, so pretty much during the COVID, the high point of all used cars, where you were getting high value for used cars.
Oh, it's crazy, stupid.
She pretty much got, with an accident, with a rear, like the whole rear end was completely
Total.
fucking smashed. They fixed her car, and the dealership still gave her above what she paid for originally.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
But
Okay.
right now it's
Weird
dipped
time.
down.
Now,
Now it's flipped.
what was it now?
It's
you
like
gotta-
14, 13.
Yeah. She got Blue Book value sent to her, or no car bond now sent her. Your car is worth 14 now. When she bought it for what, 22, 23?
27. It was like
27?
27. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you got more than what you paid for it to get the Burrito.
Yeah.
That's
but
crazy.
money doesn't justify, like, accidents just suck.
No, it doesn't.
It sucks.
And I've, like, when I had my Speed 3, I had one accident. The quarter panel got hit when I was in Miami. I don't think that was a while ago. That was a long time ago.
I think it was
That thing
your
was
fault,
abused,
but,
anyway, no, that was my fault, like 100%. Like I was following the GPS, shitty cell phones, shitty GPSs, and it said, "Oh, go here," and then it just like redirected me, and then I was like, "Oh, what's the phone telling me to do?" And then I drove through a red light, and I got fucking hit. But anyway, that was my fault. But anyways, yeah, no, I
meant the guardrail was your fault. I don't know what you're going on about.
Oh, this is something a lot different.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that was never reported.
No, we're not talking about that.
It wasn't reported. There was no other vehicle involved. I'm just
No,
saying.
no. We're talking about something else.
You know how many open insurance claims or attorneys?
Yeah, no, that was all on him. I'm pretty sure of that one.
Damn.
And on that note,
And on that note,
we're just gonna end the podcast right there. Thanks, Nick.
It's probably safe.
Yeah. So thank you guys for allowing,
Thank you.
or for one, being our guest, and two, for actually being allowing us to film here at your place.
Cheers. Thank you for
Cheers.
having us here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
I'm the only one
Yes.
with red wine because
Yes.
that's just me.
Classy as shit.
Yeah, thank you for all of our listeners, subscribers, and all of our viewers. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Cheers, booze, and cars. We'll catch you guys on the next episode, and we'll be seeing these guys very, very soon when we do the rally, the FST rally, the Florida Street Tour.
Yes.
Florida Street Tour Challenge. Or
Nick won't be there, but we'll be having
yeah,
fun.
he's not gonna be there. We're gonna be
Lame.
there.
Just work for a
Peer
living.
pressure.
That's gonna be fun. It's actually gonna start off at the Freedom Factory, so there's gonna be some footage there of the Freedom Factory. We're gonna shoot across Sebring, which is probably by far our favorite track, literally across the board, all like our favorite track.
Yeah.
So more content to come. Again, thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next upload.
Bye.
Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.